Attention all passengers in the lobby area. This train will be departing shortly for DX Central Live. Please be sure to have your boarding ticket ready. Additionally, it is recommended that you have your AM or FM radio on your person at all times while the train is in motion, as this will allow you to report receptions during the voyage. If you have not yet done so, it is recommended that you subscribe to this channel so you will be notified when new videos are available, including future voyages of DX Central Live. Thank you for travelling with us, and we hope you enjoy our journey on DX Central Live. Attention all passengers in the lobby area. This train will be departing shortly for DX Central Live.
Alright you lot, welcome in. Your girl Rachel coming to you from Studio B at North Shore Studios, warming things up for another episode of DX Central Live. If you're joining us tonight, you picked a good one. We're staring down the final stretch of the year. The bands are doing that, will they, won't they thing? And everyone's pretending they're not already thinking about what they want to hear in the year ahead. We've got a little December tropo sneaking about, whispers of something more adventurous on FM, and just enough solar mischief to keep us checking the dial one more time before bed. So let's get moving, yeah? And let's kick things off with Countdown on the Dial.
Lights are blown in the shack tonight. City buzzing, feels just right. Clock keeps ticking, band stay wide. Every signal's coming alive. Voices laughing through the hiss. Different tongues all coexist. Midnight's moving closer now. You can feel it in the sound. Every turn, another place, another voice, another face. All together, coast to coast. Here's to the ones who stay too close. Countdown on the dial. Hands up, stay a while. From the static to the smile. We're ringing in the night. Countdown on the dial. Hear the whole world shout. When the bands light up right now. We're ringing in the night. Ooh, fireworks on AM waves. From the islands to the plains. Different years, same old thrill. Waiting for that ID spill. Clock strikes loud in someone's town. Another city counting down. If it fades, just let it rise. Something's always on the every zone, every mile. Same old magic, different dial. Spinning slow, spinning wild. This is radio in style. Down on the dial. Hands up, stay a while. From the static to the smile. We're ringing in the night. Countdown on the dial. Hear the whole world shout. When the bands light up right now. We're ringing in the night. We're ringing in the night. No confetti in the air. Just a signal saying we're still here. A different clock, same desire. Turn it up a little higher. Countdown on the dial. Countdown on the dial. Countdown on the dial. Every voice, every mile. Let it fade, let it pile. This is how we ring it in. Countdown on the dial. When the noise breaks into sound. New Year's coming through right now. We're ringing in the night.
It's funny. December always does this thing where it slows everything down just enough to make you remember what you've been chasing all year. Signals you caught, signals you nearly caught. And that one opening you're still convinced would have been legendary if you just stayed up 10 more minutes or maybe gotten there 10 minutes earlier. We've seen a bit of unusual December tropo thanks to this muggy weather hanging over half the country, not just down in Lloyd's neck of the woods. And there's been the odd tease of December ease too. Still waiting on that opening, but aren't we always? Here's Let the Year Fade Out.
Like we made it here together now. Paper cups and open skies, static lapses, time drifts by. If this moment's all we get, I'm good with that, no regrets. Turn the dial, don't look back, let the noise fall where it lands. Let the year fade out. Drift into the night, new signal, new route, everything feels right. Let the year fade out. If you're listening, stay. We're still tuned in here. Let the year fade out.
That feeling when you tell yourself, right, last tune around the band, then I'm done. And suddenly it's way past midnight and you're still twisting the dial to try to squeeze out one more signal from that big DX sponge in the sky. Or maybe it's, I don't know, around 5 a.m. and you are still DXing when the morning crew shows up in the Slack channel. The same people that went to bed when you were DXing earlier in the night. It's like watching the sun set and then rise again, all from the shack while you are still wearing the same clothes. Like going to work the next day in the same clothes you were in the night before. Quick reminder before we drift too far into the night, don't forget to get those shout-outs in. New catches, new gear, new software adventures, or even just, I learned something this week and now I'm obsessed. Links pinned at the top of the chat. You know the drill. Speaking of learning, after months of putting it off, Lloyd has finally installed Linrod. Go easy on him, he's only just begun the journey. But there may be a tutorial down the road once the knobs start making sense. All right, back to it. Here's Midnight on the Meter.
Lights low, clock ticking loud. Fans alive, feel the crowd. Needles jumping left to right. Everything feels right tonight. Voices coming through the haze. End of year, brand new phase. Every phase just spills the heat. Heart in time with the beat. 10, 9, feel it climb. Hands on the dial, lost in time. your eyes, watch it glow. Every signal coming clearer. Let the whole world know. Midnight on the meter. Turn it up, don't slow. New year ringing through the speaker. Let it overflow. Fireworks in distant towns. Ooh, laughter spilling all around. Someone shouts a call sign clear. Best sound of the year. No rewind, no regrets. Every log we haven't met. This one night we let it ride. New year on the other side. 5, 4, feel it hit. This is it. This is it. It's midnight on the meter. Watch it rise, watch it glow. Every signal coming clearer. Let the whole world know. Midnight on the meter. Turn it up, don't slow. New year ringing through the speaker. Let it overflow. Hands up, stay tuned. Feel the night go boom. No fade, no fear. We made it here. It's midnight on the meter. Hear the band ignite. New year crashing through the speaker. Yeah. From the hissing to the clear. Happy New Year. We're alive.
We've finally got the Air Spy hooked up to that big southern-facing antenna, and would you believe it? First night out of the gate, boom, a new one from Honduras in the logbook. That co-channel canceller is doing some absolute wizardry with that setup. Meanwhile, Lloyd's antenna projects are temporarily paused. Not by choice, mind you, just waiting on a small mountain of parts that are currently somewhere between shipped, and we promise it is on the way, I think. And if you've been feeling like daytime and Groundwave DX are quietly slipping into the rearview mirror, you're not wrong. Which is why a brand new challenge is dropping tonight, perfectly timed for what the bands are about to give us next. Let's keep things rolling with Locked in Frequency.
Stay right here. Clock ticks low, rooms alive, meters glow, we feel the rise, noise drops out, band locks in, hear that moment settling in, signals drip then synchronize, every voice aligns tonight.
As we get ready here in a bit to hand off the controls to Mark Monroe, our fearless captain of the countdown, we actually have our sights set on another countdown. This one involves a big ball dropping in New York, fireworks still going at 2 a.m. to keep your dog hiding under the bed, and if you are a DXer, the perfect opportunity to stare directly into the heart of Latin America. If conditions are cooperative, New Year's Eve is one of the best nights of the year for Latin American DXC. They still know how to do live radio for big events down there. You will hear fireworks, you will hear air raid sirens, you will hear Billows Caracas boys belting out Año Nuevo on a handful of frequencies right at midnight in Colombia. At the very least, do yourself a favour and start recording in advance of midnight in the Atlantic time zone and just let it roll through at least midnight Central Time. You do not want to miss this. It is in that spirit we find ourselves queued up perfectly for midnight on the medium wave.
Jumps the bands alive, every signal wants the mic, voices laughing, music loud, fireworks over the crowd. From the coast to the mountainside, every station opens wide. No scripts now, no holding back, just let radio imagine that. Hands in the air, hear the roar, radio shaking the floor. Midnight on the medium wave, hear the whole world celebrate. Voices, music, noise collide, it's alive tonight. Midnight on the medium wave. Every signal can't behave. 12 strikes hit the band, ignites, Latin radio owns the night. Latin radio owns the night. Colombia counting loud and fast. Puerto Rico makes it last. Nicaragua, Ecuador, open mics and so much more. Announcers shouting over songs, crowd singing right along. No delay, no perfect sound, just the best chaos around. If you're listening, you're in. Spin the dial, let it begin. Midnight on the medium wave, hear the whole world celebrate. Voices, music, noise collide. It's alive tonight. Midnight on the medium wave, every signal can't behave. 12 strikes hit the band, ignites, Latin radio owns the night. This is radio. Hey!
All right, you lot, that's just about going to do it for me here in Studio B at North Shore Studios. And honestly, what a way to close out the year. We've been counting it down, fading it out, locking it in, and riding that medium wave right into the new one. And if that doesn't feel like a proper DX party send-off, I don't know what does. Yeah, now before I hand things over to the ever-stylish, impeccably timed and definitely not already stocking up on his New Year's refreshments, Mark Monroe, a few quick reminders for you. First, for shout-outs. If you've logged something new, chased a country, flirted with a bit of tropo, caught a surprise signal, or just had one of those weeks on the dial, get it in. The link's pinned at the top of the chat and you know the drill, and we want to celebrate it all together. Second, if you want to be one of the folks that get early access to videos and podcasts, get behind the scenes looks into the workings of DX Central, all you have to do is head on over to patreon.com/DXCentral and join us in Studio C. Our patrons continue to help us improve and add to the fun stuff here, and we absolutely could not do this without you. Thank you also to our sponsors, National Radio Club, the International Radio Club of America, and the Spectrum Monitor magazine. And lastly, be sure to register over at dxchallenges.com if you haven't done so already. That is all you have to do to be eligible to participate in our DX Challenges, and we have a brand new one all shined up and ready to roll out tonight. Right then, it's time. Coming up next is the countdown. 10 minutes to showtime, guiding us straight into DX Central Live. So don't wander off. Don't touch that dial. And for the love of radio, stay right where you are. I'll catch you on the other side. Take it away, Marky Poo.
Evening everyone, Mark Munro here in Studio B at North Shore Studios, guiding you through the countdown, the final stretch before we head into Studio A and light this thing up. Now, if you've been feeling a little restless lately, you're not alone. December's been doing strange things, a touch of tropo here and there, muggy air hanging around like it missed a memo that folks were dreaming of a white Christmas, and just enough hints of activity to keep everyone checking the dial one more time. And tonight, we're not easing into the new year, we're sprinting toward it. Let's start exactly where we should. Feet tapping, heads nodding, energy up. Here's Got Me Moving. Reminder before we roll on, a new challenge drops tonight as we officially say farewell to Groundwave and Daytime DX. Make sure you're registered at dxchallenges.com so you're ready when it launches and getting your shoutouts. New logs, new states, new countries, new gear. Let's celebrate together. Just hit the link pinned at the top of the chat and you will be golden. Right now though, let's lean into the moment. That feeling when the clock's ticking down and the band starts doing interesting things. Here's Signal Drop at midnight.
Hands on the dial, lights going down. Feel that band come alive right now. Signal drop at midnight. signal drop, let it hit, let it ride. Static fades, crowd awake, every band about to break, all the world in the air tonight. From the floor to the ionized sky.
We finally did it. The Air Spy is now live on the big southern facing Kaz, and it didn't waste any time making itself useful. First night out of the gate, a brand new one from Honduras. Turns out that co-channel canceller really does what it says on the tin. Alright, this is it. Final song before we head to Studio A. Big energy, exactly the mindset you want as we roll into a brand new year of AM and FM DX. This is Right Here, Right Now.
The night's cracked open, spilling light. Radio hums like a street fight. Hands in the air, no reason why. If this is it, then so am I. Static laughs, the world comes through. Every signal feels brand new. No rewind, no second try. Just turn it up and don't ask why. Don't slow it down, don't think it through. We didn't come this far to lose.
right, folks, we're just about there. Grab your logs, settle in, and get ready for Shoutouts, a brand new challenge, and whatever surprises the bands decide to throw our way tonight. We now head to Studio A, where Lloyd is standing by and ready to kick off the show, right after a word from our sponsors.
DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
The International Radio Club of America gives DXers incredible value by putting important station information right at your fingertips. The club's e-publication, the DX Monitor, includes DXer loggings, station information updates, international loggings, and more. Other club publications include the IRCA Mexican Log, a must-have resource for any DXer that chases stations from Mexico, the TIS-HAR list, the IRCA slogan list, sunset sunrise maps, and DXer technical guides. The joint IRCA-NRC email reflector and groups.io group is a hub for real-time DX conditions, station news, and DX-related conversation. For more information, visit ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. From long wave to satellites, medium wave through HF, ham radio to scanners. If you can DX it, the Spectrum Monitor has you covered. Editor and publisher Ken Reitz has assembled a who's who of radio writers to share their knowledge and expertise from a wide range of DX-related topics. Each month, the Spectrum Monitor's columnists dive into their specialties to give readers tips, tricks, the latest news and station updates, and more. The Spectrum Monitor also provides a monthly assortment of feature articles that give in-depth insight into the past, present, and future of DXing. You can get a full year of the Spectrum Monitor for only $24. Individual issues from the current year are available for $3 each. You can also purchase previous years of the Spectrum Monitor in their entirety for as low as $12. For more information, visit thespectrummonitor.com. That's thespectrummonitor.com. For more than 90 years, the National Radio Club has been at the forefront of providing DXers with the latest in station news, DX-related technical information, and reception reports from DXers around the world. The NRC's AM radio log is the most expansive and detailed resource of station information for U.S. and Canadian radio stations that is available in any format. The club's publication, the DX News, is available in both print and electronic format and provides the latest information on call letter and format changes, construction permits, and other information to help keep DXers informed of the latest updates they may hear on the air. For more information, visit their website at nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org.
Can't get enough DX? Then the DX Central From the Static podcast is for you. Take DX Central on the go and listen to episodes from DX Central Live, interviews with prominent members of the DX community, tips, tricks, how-tos, your DX memories and stories. And that's just the start. You can find the From the Static podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Listen Notes, or anywhere you get podcasts, or by visiting FromTheStatic.net. That's FromTheStatic.net. For stories, signals, and voices from across the airwaves, don't miss the DX Central From the Static podcast.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
Ladies and gentlemen, DXers and dial spinners, welcome to the DX Central Prestige Awards, the only awards show brave enough to honor achievements that absolutely no one asked for. Our first award tonight is for DX season that caused more debates than an election cycle. And the nominees are the 2023 Sporadic E season, that one random January opening nobody can explain, and the 2025 Sporadic E season. And the award goes to the 2025 Sporadic E season.
Wow. I honestly didn't prepare anything. I just knew if I gave everyone a few really big openings every once in a while, no one would notice all the days I completely took off in between. I'd like to thank confused ionosons, crossed paths on maps, and anyone that ever uttered the phrase, "I don't know why I'm not hearing anything." I'm in the middle of the green of the donut. Thank you. I'll see you again when you least expect it. Maybe.
Next up, the award for DX project most likely to be, this should be the last antenna project, I swear. And the winner is every antenna project with Lloyd.
Thank you. Wow, I'd like to dedicate this award to all of the parts that are still out there somewhere in transit, to the shipping companies that make tracking updates possible so I can keep refreshing the page over and over to see if the delivery date has changed. To the antennas that aren't quite finished and honestly may never be. To the idea that you're only as good as your last antenna. I promise this next project will probably be the last one. Maybe. Thank you.
And now, the award we've all been waiting for. Most likely cause of missing an opening. Here are tonight's nominees. Had to unplug all antennas due to a thunderstorm. Reoriented your antennas toward where the DX had been, only for the DX to immediately move somewhere else. And forgot to schedule an overnight recording on the SDR before going to bed. And the winner is... forgot to schedule an overnight recording on the SDR before going to bed.
Wow. You know, I really feel this one in my soul. I knew the conditions were ripe for DX. I had every intention of setting up that recording, but I was just so tired from working in the yard all day, putting up antennas, convincing myself I'll do it later. I'd like to dedicate this award to caffeine, to full hard drives, and the recordings that never were.
It's a Friday night, Lloyd in the North Shore, setting frequencies right. AM and FM, the airwaves collide. DX Central Live, where the signals can't hide. Tuning in the static, chasing down the sounds. Every single signal is magic we have found. All radios hum, the chatters all agree. DX Central Live is the place to be. Folks in the chat, shout out your call. From east to west, we're breaking down the walls. It's the magic of the night, where frequencies fly. Join us now on DX Central Live.
From the Gulf South
To your corner of the world.
this is DX Central Live.
Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
It's DX Central Live from the North Shore Studios in Mandeville, Louisiana. You'll find us here in Studio A. We bring you live DX and a whole lot more. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas for those who celebrate. For those who don't, I wish you a great week. For everyone, I hope you had some good DX. Hope that you got some DX goodies this year, some new gear, inspiration to build something if you're in that kind of frame of mind. And hopefully maybe some DX around the corner. We got a lot to talk about tonight. FM is flaring up on the Tropo side, not just down here, but inland. From the Great Lakes, Chris Cadlick was seeing some stuff. Boot Crew North, all the Arkansas crew, they're seeing a bunch of Tropo into Kansas and Texas and Mississippi and down in Louisiana, all over the place. We've seen a little. It hadn't been a lot here, but we've seen a little bit. So FM Tropo is getting going. There's been hints maybe a little bit of E-skip going, and this is about the time we would expect to see that midwinter opening. So maybe. We got a DX test coming up this next week. We're going to talk about that. We've got some new gear here at the shack, including, go ahead and just show this to you guys. Those of you in the Slack channel already saw the picture. But we're not doing a common mode choke here. No. We're going to common mode strangle. We're going to strangle that common mode. This is 10 of these N30, TDK N30 toroids that we're going to make some common mode chokes with. And so we're going to talk about that. We got our air spy up and running on our southern facing CAS now. That's awesome. We got some new logbooks over here. We're actually going to use this to help us do a little bit of a retrospective of 2025, of what we've heard here in 2025 on FM and on AM. So we're going to use our new logbooks that we worked this week on AM and FM to get that retrospective in. And man, these things are awesome. I cannot wait to share that with you guys. We have a new challenge to announce tonight. We are saying goodbye to the daytime. Hopefully this has been fun for you. It was nice for me. I got reacquainted. I got to test out my low noise vertical on daytime conditions, and it did good. I want to make some tweaks to it. We're going to put some radials on that sucker this weekend because that sounds like something that might help the performance a little bit. We'll see. Let's see what else. Linrad. Let's talk about Linrad tonight. Because I finally downloaded that sucker and got that working with the RSP Duo. We have audio coming out, and then I was looking at the interface last night, and okay, now I get what you guys are saying. It takes a PhD to operate this thing. I understand now. It makes sense. Excuse me. So a lot to get to tonight. I want to actually do something a little bit different for our first DX session. Normally we would dive in on the AM side and pull up one of the Kiwis or something like that. We're going to do something a little bit different right now. We're actually going to go do some FM DX. Yeah, how about that? This DX session brought to you by the Spectrum Monitor, the Spectrum Monitor. And yes, we're doing FM this time, which is fun because we don't do a lot of, for, obvious reasons. There's considerations to do around copyright that we have to kind of think about. And then there's also sometimes this time of the year, the band doesn't really cooperate very much, but you can see by our autologger map here, we had an autolog hit, and these look legit. We had one up in Arkansas. We had one here in Tennessee. Actually, I had that one in Tennessee on 2 different autologgers around the same exact time. And then this one up here in Missouri, which was earlier this afternoon as well. So the Tropo has been tropoing a little bit. And so we're going to take a look here now. It doesn't look like it's too much right now. In fact, I'm looking at the APRS map right now, and it looks like there's a little bit of a patch over here to our east here. Along the Florida Gulf Coast, but nothing too significant here into Louisiana where I am in Mandeville right here. In fact, we're not even under one of the bubbles right now of the APRS map, but we're going to take a look at this. We're also going to take a look at some weather DX as well to see if maybe that might be cooking. In fact, let's go ahead and pull that up really quick. But keeping an eye on NOAA Weather Radio, because that can be a nice harbinger. Even if the DX isn't down into the FM band yet, NOAA Weather Radio can sometimes be popping. And right now we see that it's probably not too much right now. There's a little bit going on, but nothing too significant. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of a gander around. We're going to turn the volume down on this so we don't get the copyright strike. But let's just take a little bit of a gander around some of our hot open frequencies here on the FM band and see what's looking. Now, I'm going to start. Usually I would start high and then work low on Tropo. Let's start with some of the lower ones here at 92.1. Don't hear much there. This sounds like an oldie station. And there is one out to our west in Louisiana. Let's go now and go up high.
Just from me. Already.
Okay, we got 107.7, nothing there yet. Let me turn my contrast up just a little bit on the waterfall so we can see if there's any light signals here.
40% of the time. So would you offer them flexibility? How would you deal with that employee?
It's 107.3.
They're in sales and estimating.
Okay. What is it that does?
I think is here in Louisiana.
Subcontractor bids and
Baker,
bids,
I think, is the city on this one.
Negotiation going on.
Remember correctly.
Part of it, maybe
just pulling up FM list here.
HVAC
like to make sure
the number of
we're going to turn our comforts on.
Why don't you have somebody else do that?
That's a good solution.
One of the other techs is the detail guy.
DX Central Live, top of the hour alert.
Jen Action and David Van Camp from
Baker, Louisiana.
Boomer Scott Robbins. We're the Markley Van Camp and Robbins Show. Weekday afternoons at 4 on Talk 107.3.
No ID there. That was nice. WBRP.
Threatening to ruin holiday travel for millions of Americans.
Years reportedly.
Until the next time.
I'm going to stop if I see anything that's out of the ordinary here. Most of this so far has been pretty routine. 105.7. And don't forget, by the way, if you are wanting to do some DXing here on our receivers, we have a couple of online receivers here that you can take advantage of. Just go to livedxing.com. You can scroll down here until you'll see we have our Kiwis here for HF and AM. But down here we have our 2 FM receivers. This is our original TEF radio. This is the TEF6686. This is paired with our log periodic, 33 feet up in the air. The same antenna that we're DXing from on our ELAD right now. Then here we have our headless TEF radio. This is the one that's not like a radio, right, that you can hold in your hand. It's a little USB dongle that you plug into the computer. There are 2 antennas on this one. There's our vintage 9-element Channel Master Stereo Probe 9. Right now that one is not hooked up because I got to redo the feed through for the window. But the S antenna is. That is the FM S antenna at 21 feet. So that one is still on there. So you at least can use that on the headless. So we have the headless and we have the log periodic here on the original FM as well. Again, that's livedxing.com, and you can go up there. Just remember, if you're on there tuning around, it's going to be tuning around for everybody. So if you see other people are on there, especially if they're tuning around, be patient, sit and watch for a little while. They'll probably come across some of the DX you would have gotten to anyway. Okay. 105.5 is an HD. Let's look here. 104.9. We have some ESPN, it sounds like, for Baton Rouge, Donaldsonville. 104.7, 104.5, 3. This is usually... that's going to be Grace Radio Slidell, probably. No, or the Bridge. That's Bunkie, Louisiana, the Bridge. 104.3. KEZP. I know who that is, I would imagine. Hopefully they don't nail us on that. Hey, Mamacita! Let's check here, 104.1. KVDU. This is the Vibe out of Gonzales, so it's to our west. Right now, this log periodic is facing kind of northwest, northwest, somewhere in there. So it's kind of looking in the general direction of up, which is where the tropo that I'm looking for is going to be coming from. So, and hopefully we have a shot at some of that. There's 103.7, a local here. Local. I don't have Ocean Springs, Mississippi here on 103.1. That's interesting. They're usually in there just to our east, but they're not in, which tells me conditions are definitely not favorable in that direction. Because even when they have the antenna pointed away from them, they're usually still in there if conditions are somewhat favorable towards my east. So they don't seem to be favorable right now to the east as of right now. That's local. This is another indicator of east propagation. This is Milton, Florida. WXBM. Assuming this is country music, but I don't hear it. I hear news, which WXBM does not normally carry.
People are hitting thrift stores more than ever before, and many started shopping earlier than ever.
So, this could be Golden Meadow.
Digital shopping grew even more this year, with AI playing a big role in people's online and mobile shopping. Following the report.
The developers of the Virginia offshore wind project.
This would be interesting. This is most likely who this is, but we'll take a look.
Construction of their project, along with 4 others over national security concerns. Dominion Energy Virginia said in its lawsuit filed.
Let's keep on going here. 125. That's Baton Rouge, definitely. That's Coast. That is Biloxi-ish. Basile, Louisiana, on 102.1. That's interesting. I mean, they're not like they're not uncommon or anything, but that definitely points to we're getting stuff to the west right now. Because I would expect 102.1, if we were getting more stuff to the east, be like Mississippi, maybe WAV, Santa Rosa Beach, Wave in Florida, stuff like that. Now, when I say it's to the west, it's not like super strong to the west where we're getting Houston, Austin, that kind of stuff just yet, but I bet we're building towards that way. Based on some of the stuff that I saw, the forecast maps early when they were still working. I noticed they were not working before we went on the air tonight. There's Alexandria, Louisiana. They're coming in over top of my local. We have a local here in New Orleans on 100.3 The Streets. Alexandria is coming in on top of them. So we are getting a little bit of enhancement up to our northwest, which that validates what we saw on the APRS map earlier. So that's good.
Need to be doing
Lafayette, same thing. Here's New Orleans. New Iberia instead of Mobile. That tells me a lot. Franklinton's local. Baton Rouge, local. This is the boss here in Hammond, Louisiana. That's local. Local. There's a local here on the South Shore, New Orleans, but I don't hear them very well. They're in there, but they're not as loud as usual. For us, Lee, that's normal if we're going to be looking to the northwest. This would be Lafayette, KSMB, I would imagine. Galliano. There's WEMX, Kentwood. Oh, so that would be K-Love, KVPI. Yep, we're definitely getting a little bit of a very light Gulf Tropo enhancement right now to our west-ish, northwest-ish. Nothing too crazy just yet. We're going to keep an eye on it, though, and see what we might have coming up here as we get into the top of the hour and beyond. So, in the next hour or so. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got more great DX to get for you here. We've got shout-outs. We got a bunch of shout-outs to get to. We're going to take a little bit of a retrospective look back at 2025 for AM and FM DX from us. See what we saw. This was also going to give us a chance to show you our new online logbooks, which they're the same thing as we have with our frequency challenge. It's just going to be my personal logs. We've got DX tests to talk about. We've got some gear stuff to talk about. So tons of stuff to get to. So don't go anywhere, my friends. More DX Central Live is coming up your way right after this.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
From long wave to satellites, medium wave through HF, ham radio to scanners. If you can DX it, the Spectrum Monitor has you covered. Editor and publisher Ken Reitz has assembled a who's who of radio writers to share their knowledge and expertise from a wide range of DX-related topics. Each month, the Spectrum Monitor's columnists dive into their specialties to give readers tips, tricks, the latest news and station updates, and more. The Spectrum Monitor also provides a monthly assortment of feature articles that give in-depth insight into the past, present, and future of DXing. You can get a full year of the Spectrum Monitor for only $24. Individual issues from the current year are available for $3 each. You can also purchase previous years of the Spectrum Monitor in their entirety for as low as $12. For more information, visit thespectrummonitor.com. That's thespectrummonitor.com. For more than 90 years, the National Radio Club has been at the forefront of providing DXers with the latest in station news, DX-related technical information, and reception reports from DXers around the world. The NRC's AM radio log is the most expansive and detailed resource of station information for U.S. and Canadian radio stations that is available in any format. The club's publication, the DX News, is available in both print and electronic format and provides the latest information on call letter and format changes, construction permits, and other information to help keep DXers informed of the latest updates they may hear on the air. For more information, visit their website at nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org. The International Radio Club of America gives DXers incredible value by putting important station information right at your fingertips. The club's e-publication, the DX Monitor, includes DXer loggings, station information updates, international loggings, and more. Other club publications include the IRCA Mexican Log, a must-have resource for any DXer that chases stations from Mexico, the TIS-HAR list, the IRCA slogan list, sunset sunrise maps, and DXer technical guides. The joint IRCA-NRC email reflector and groups.io group is a hub for real-time DX conditions, station news, and DX-related conversation. For more information, visit ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org.
Can't get enough DX? Then the DX Central from the Static podcast is for you. Take DX Central on the go and listen to episodes from DX Central Live, interviews with prominent members of the DX community, tips, tricks, how-tos, your DX memories and stories. And that's just the start. You can find the From the Static podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Listen Notes, or anywhere you get podcasts, or by visiting FromTheStatic.net. That's FromTheStatic.net. For stories, signals, and voices from across the airwaves, don't miss the DX Central From the Static podcast.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central. From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
It's DX Central Live from the North Shore Studios here in beautiful Mandeville, Louisiana. Studio A. Bring you live DX challenges, tips, tricks, shout-outs, and a whole lot more. So glad to have you here with us. Hopefully you had a great, at least some time off or a great holiday with friends, family, or the radio dials, if nothing. So we have a lot to get to tonight and got a lot of cool stuff to show you. But I did want to start off with some shout outs because, man, we've got quite a few.
Shout out, hear the call for every single big or small, from AM to FM from C to C. We celebrate the ones who snag the IT. Shout out, let it be known, you're never DXing all alone. Through the static we found our way. Shout outs making waves today.
All right. We've got so many. And our friend Keegan, who's in the chat, has not been able to join us here last several episodes, so that's totally cool. Hey, I was in that same boat a couple years ago, my friend. So I definitely understand, and my sympathies and condolences. But he's got a catch-up shout-out here, so we're gonna highlight that one here tonight with its own round. So Keegan will get you in here in a bit, and we're gonna highlight just your shout-out by itself in one of our rounds. But to get us started here, we go to our friend out in Thailand, probably watching us on the replay tonight. Ken Alexander in Thailand has been helping us with our country challenge, getting our country totals up. He says, I want to wish everyone in the group a Merry Christmas and hope 2026 brings you good health, happiness, and plenty of new stations, states, and provinces, and DX. My friend, I could not have said it. Thank you. What a great way to start the shout-outs here. A nice word of encouragement. Let's go to our friend David up here in Maine. I finally started to get regular transatlantic openings the last couple of weeks after a pretty slow start to the season. 24th, 25th, and 26th were especially strong. In that stretch, I logged 8 new Spanish stations to bring my total to 31. Man, it's got 31 from Spain. 873 SER, 882 Cope, 1026 SER, 1143, and 1215 Cope. RNE5, I'm sure that's probably Cope or something else. I know it's an acronym, probably initials, but that's what we're going to call it here. 1305 and 1413 RNE5 and 1341 SET in Lyon. Also, 711 SNRT in Morocco for a new country. That's country number 36 for our friend David up in Maine. And one last thing. Well, not much of a DX catch. I did log 650 WSM for the challenge. Now, this is the daytime challenge. I want you to think about this. Our man David's up in Maine. He heard WSM in Nashville. You can visualize the distance here. This was shortly before the 2-hour evening cutoff at 1,129 miles. This is my new daytime distance record. So this was a little bit more than 2 hours before his local sunrise, which is well within, or not yet within the official gray line kind of time frame we usually think of for gray line enhancement. But, up in that neck of the woods, D-layer, not pretty short days up in the north. The D-layer is not going to be very robust, and here we are, WSM, 1,129 miles. So we're going to do a couple things. First, we're going to do that milestone here. We're breaking that daytime distance record because, I mean, that's pretty crazy. You got a new country as well, Morocco, which that's when I was living in Charleston, man, I always wanted Morocco, and I never was able to get them. 7-Eleven, man. I think I had, who was it I had on 7-Eleven? I think it might have been Spain. Somebody was there, but it wasn't Morocco. What I always wanted. And we got a bunch of new logs for our friend David up there in Maine. A bunch of new transatlantics. Which is just freaking awesome, man. Congratulations, homie. And he's got a clip here for us from RNE5 on Christmas Eve here. He got it. Let's listen.
Entonces, bueno, pues ya solo por eso y por la emoción de esta canción y de escucharla en directo, pues me quedo con este concierto como una de las canciones musicales en directo de los músicos.
That's what happens when you have a merging of geography and location, skill of a DXer, and antenna. So the technology, the skill, and the geography all come together to give you that crystal clear recording from RNE5 out of Spain. So outstanding, man. Well done. Our friend Baramas in Florida said, I wasn't able to join you all last week, but on the 16th, WJBO 1150 AM was booming in here like a local in Orlando. And happy holidays to everyone. So glad for this live stream and the community. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. So, because, let's see, WJBO 1150, that's the station in Baton Rouge. Because it's in Red Stick, that means we're doling out a little bit of gumbo for our friend Barnabas here. Greetings from muggy Louisiana. I know a lot of you guys right now are not exactly having winter conditions. That's going to change soon. But even for us down here, we're kind of like, is this September? October? Or is this December? There you go, man. Well done. Our friend Earl Higgins. See, we got quite a few of these here to get to. Earl says, after a week of nothing new, 2 new logs at sunset tonight, both with help from the members of the DX community. 1100 WZFG in Dilworth, Minnesota, under louder than WTAM. And it's nice because it's a local call-in show, which is always fun to hear. Easily ID'd by many mentions of Fargo, the 701 area code, and parallel to the web stream. Thanks to Sean Kutsko for the tip. See, this is what we do. We help each other out, man. We help each other. And Jacob, Airplane Engine in the chat, Jacob helped out with this one, KNLV 1060 in Nebraska, with KY under, or kind of mixing with KYW. Space Oddity by David Bowie, parallel to web stream. Likely the one earlier from that he heard with Foreigners. Feels like the first time. Thanks, Jacob, for helping me to narrow this one down. So, outstanding, man. Hey, anytime you get a station from Minnesota, I'm going to be jelly, because that's a state that I just, whatever reason, has evaded me. But Earl, my friend, we got you in there with some good logs, man. And right on time, there's Earl. He shows up as we're doing this. That's serendipity is what that is. We got your logs, got your shout out in there, man. Well done on Minnesota and Nebraska. Congratulations. Let's see. We got a couple more here. We're going to do Neil, Kaz. We're going to do Jacob and Sean. And then after that, we've got Stuart. We've got Aiden. And we've got our big one here from Keegan, our catch up for Keegan we're going to do here tonight. So a couple of big ones here still to get to. We'll do Kaz real quick. 1039.764. How's that for precision? XEPLE in Palenque, Mexico. New log for him. 1270 WIJD in Pritchard, Alabama. And 1430 WDJS in Mount Olive, North Carolina. So a new Latin American station for him. We're going to start off there. And offset there at .764. That makes it easy to find. So if you're sitting on 1040 and you hear kind of a low tone that you're on the frequency, you know, woo, that's, look down below. It's .764-ish. 1039.764. That's Mexico. Get some audio out of it. Get you a new log. We've also got some logs in here for him for North Carolina and Alabama, my friend. Well done, Kaz. Always cool to see our friend Kaz in, getting some new ones. Because you know that logbook's already just full. So you can squeeze another one in there. That's a good day. Let's do 2 more. Jacob up in Minnesota, Airplane Engine over in the chat. One notable new log heard tonight at sunset with 1280 WGBF, Evansville, Indiana, heard under my local WWTC with a Sean Hannity replay. Local ads and ID matched to the Carterville, Illinois KiwiSDR. I've been trying for WGBF ever since it was announced. They were set to go off the air on December the 31st, and they are. So able to get them in the logbook here before they disappear off the band. So well done, my friend. There you go. And you can still get your shout outs in, by the way. Don't feel like you missed your shot. You still have time. dxchallenges.com/shoutout. Let us know what you've been hearing. New gear, new logs, new stations, new states, new countries, new provinces. We really would like the provinces. We haven't let the moose loose in a week or two. Our friend Sean Kutsko up in Illinois, he just had himself a nice little DXpedition, and he's getting settled back in. With Christmas this week, I haven't had much time for DXing until tonight. Heard KFLN 960 in Baker, Montana for the first time in quite a while. So it's a relog for him, Montana is. Nice to get an opening to the Pacific Northwest again. Let's hope for more of that on the way. Let's fingers cross that one. Only one new station this week to be G&Z 1110 Fairborn, Ohio with Southern Gospel, 230 miles. Says I still have more than 30 hours of recordings from my DXpedition to Southern Illinois last weekend, both AM and non-directional beacon. It says, Merry Christmas to all. Thanks for making the group worth much more than just DXing. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I am, I've all the things that we have accomplished here at DX Central, perhaps no thing do I have more pride behind. There's nothing I'm more proud of. Stick my chest out than what we've helped to foster as a community here between our live streams and social media stuff and you guys in the Slack channel, which it's not my Slack channel. A lot of people think it is. It's not my Slack channel. We just kind of moved in and you guys came with us, and just everyone bouncing ideas off of each other, knowledge, tips. Hey man, go check if so and so's running tones right now. We have, what was it, WJXL? Last week was running a network feed over, and then someone else was running tones. It was on 970, I think. I can't remember the calls, but it was 1700 KVNS down in Brownsville, Texas. So we share these tips. People get new ones in the log. It just makes me so happy. It really does. It makes me really, really happy. So thank you to all of you who have been jumping in here with your shout outs, helping to support each other, building this sense of community. I just provide the platform for a lot of these. You guys have been the ones who've done the work. So kudos to you. You've put the work into it. So thank you. Let's talk about some cool stuff, some cool gear. Now you guys know here at DX Central, one of the things that we are very, very fond of in our arsenal of DX is our big southern facing CAS antenna that's sitting over at Mamacita's house at Shortwave Central in the backyard. It's 25 foot high, 72 foot long, and it is it's pointed right at South America. It's right there at the corner, the border between Panama and Colombia, right there, just in the two. So we've done a lot of DXO on that antenna over the last several years, and it's all been using the KiwiSDR that you can DX off of as well. You can also be part of the fun. Just go here to livedxing.com and whoopsie, let's get that go. I don't know where it went. There it is. Just go to livedxing.com. I got too many screens. And you'll see the Shortwave Central Kiwi right here. That's the one you want to go for. That's got the big CAS antenna pointing right at South America. So you can also join in into the fun of what we hear down in that neck of the woods. But one of the things that I've kind of been about with that Kiwi, I love that Kiwi. I DX off it all the time, but I couldn't do like a broadband recording. So if there was like a really good Latin night, I felt like I was missing out on a lot of DX because I couldn't like record half the band or whatever, big portion of the band all at once and then go back and review it. Well, now we can. We picked up an extra AirSpy HF Plus Discovery during Black Friday sale this year, and all the stuff came in finally. We got a splitter in. So we're splitting that signal off into two now. So it's about 3 dB loss. And so you've got one side going to our Kiwi, so you can DX off of it there, and the other side's coming over here to our AirSpy HF Plus Discovery. Now I've got a Surface Pro 6 sitting there temporarily. After the first of the year, we're going to invest in a little bit bigger computer that I can haul some stuff in to go along with this AirSpy, some other stuff. But this will at least give me the opportunity to now use the clear channel, the co-channel canceller rather on SDR Sharp, so we can get rid of some of this nasty stuff to the north that we don't want, that's hiding some of the DX to the south. So for instance, if we're sitting up on 1510 and we want to hear Radio Monumental,
Morgan, I know you're doing,
and WLAC is topping the band. I can get rid of them. Now, right now, sounds like Monumental is not that loud. But last night they were big time loud. Once I got rid of WLAC, they were really, really loud. So this is something I'm super excited about. And it already has paid off. The very first night that we had those hooked up, it was Honduras in the logbook. That first night. So on Saturday night last week, I had the new Honduran. So how we're doing this right now is we've got the Surface Pro sitting over at Mamacita's house, and then we're using Chrome Remote Desktop to remote into the computer, and then I've got full control, just like I normally would. I've got audio and everything I need, and I can do recordings. I've got a 1 terabyte flash drive on there, but we've got a 2 terabyte SSD on the way. That's going to be paired with a new computer once we get that. So yeah, lots and lots of opportunity here to get some more Southern DX. So this is something to kind of think about. And the reason to bring this up is if you have a location, let's say it's at a family member's house, or a friend, maybe, someone who doesn't mind allowing you to put an antenna in their yard. I'm being presumptuous here, right? Hey, can I put an antenna in your yard? You got a bigger yard than I do. But if you have access to a remote location like that, maybe someone with a farm or something, and you can run a feed line in and make it as out of the way as possible and as hands off for them, so they don't have to worry about it. This is what we're going to put the new computer on a battery backup, so even if the power goes out, it'll just recycle back. It'll stay online until the power comes back on, and also provide some nice line conditioning and protection for the computer as well. And we're going to Ethernet that sucker. We got an Ethernet switch we're going to get. So we're going to do a direct Ethernet connection for the highest speed possible. So if you have access to stuff like this, maybe you've got, maybe it's not a friend's house, maybe it's your place, but you want to do something like, I don't know, like a little mini PC or a little Raspberry Pi or something powered by power over internet or something like that. There's all kinds of options out there that you can do to get your gear out there, and then you can remote in or do what you need to do to connect to it. So just look around if you feel like you might be hand tied. I know some of you guys have some folks who have family in different locations, so you've got setups at their place, and you can remote into it or do what you need to do for like an auto logger or something like that, online receiver. Something to think about. If you find yourself hand tied with your location, think outside the box. There may be an opportunity for you to do something like this. Like, we are out of room here at DX Central. We have run out of room for antennas. We are officially full. See his house, though. Now, one really brief, small change to our plan that we were going to put up. Oops. Not yet. We were going to put up a new 65-foot vertical over there. I already have the rope up in the tree, shot it up in the tree with the air cannon and everything, and got to looking at it, and I realized just how close that vertical is to that big southern CAS. Now, if it was any other antenna, whatever impact it has on the other antenna it has, if they interact with each other, I don't care. I just want, a big 65-foot vertical to give me a nice big signal capture. But this is the southern-facing CAS. This is the South American CAS. I can't have this one having its antenna pattern modified or having its null capabilities not, impacted, things like that. So I decided to scrap the plans for a 65-foot vertical over at Mama State at Shortwave Central. Instead, we're going to put up an omnidirectional FM antenna there, because that's going to be high enough above the CAS, and it's a different enough in frequency that there shouldn't be any interaction between the two of them. So we're going to put an omnidirectional FM up there, and then we're going to run 2 TEF radios in there off of a splitter. One is an online receiver. One's going to be an autologger. So there'll be a third online receiver for our livedxing.com. This will be an omnidirectional at 65 feet in the air. Woof. So we are going to stay with our 2 verticals we have here. We have a 45-foot and a 35-foot. That's going to be the ones we have. We're putting up a 35-foot for her as well to use on her one of her radios, on her old Kenwood R5000. I think that'll do really, really well for her for shortwave. And so we're going to scrap the 65-foot vertical. Would love to do it, but I don't see an option where it's not going to impact that antenna. Because the only other trees that are on the lot that we could use for that are also tied to that same antenna. So I'm just not going to sacrifice the performance of that antenna just to put up another one. Okay. All right. That brings me to, what time is it? 34. The next thing we're going to be doing. So we talked about the vertical. We have the 35-footer here. We're about to finish up our 45-footer once the high Z amplifier gets here. We're pairing that with a W6 LVP loop. And so we're going to be running phasing. Now, last week I showed you guys SDR Connect and SDR Uno. Didn't have a lot of success with our phasing. Now, Some of that might be I need to do some work on the loop antenna to make it work a little better. So it might have been part of it. It also could be operator error because I don't spend a lot of time with those two programs. But rather than spend a lot of time getting used to them and learning them and everything else, I decided this was finally the time to make the jump to Linrad. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, Linrad is not like a traditional SDR program. Okay, this is it's almost a piece of scientific equipment. Okay, that allows you to do things you can't do with any other program. It's not easy. It does require a pretty big learning curve. I'm learning, especially starting off, just looking at it, I was like, wait, how do I change the frequency? What? So there's a lot of learning to this program. So it's going to be a while before I am comfortable sharing with you guys my performance use of it. But I did want to at least show you really quick. This is what Linrad looks like. Let me just pull it up on the screen now. I have been told that I have some tweaking to do on some of the settings, and that's fine. But for instance, here's how you would go in. So I would go over here. This is Linrad. That's what it looks like. Now, with this, you have some phasing controls over here, and there's a lot of very sophisticated stuff you can do with this. You can damn near pick out the signal you want to listen to and get rid of the rest of the stuff. I mean, it's almost to that point. Getting to that, and doing that takes a lot of work. But it's, from what I've been reading and kind of hearing from Rick and Jeff and some of the other folks who are using this, it's almost that magical. So I'm using my RSP Duo with this, so I have the 2 independent tuners, 2 independent antennas. We can do some stuff with it to do the phasing and things like that. So that's going to be what we try out here. So that'll be a learning project over the next probably several months, at least, at minimum, that I would assume. So we'll be reporting back what we learn off of Linrad at some point here. And maybe at some point, once I get comfortable with it, and I can explain what I know about it, we can do like a video or an online forum or something like that. So we'll see. Let's see. Go up here and look at my... David says he used to see the R5000 ads in Popcom every month and drool. Yeah, right. That's one that when I was a kid, we got an R5000 when we were living here in New Orleans the first time. And yeah, eventually it just kind of petered out. And then Mom was like, I want that radio back. So they got an R5000, and it had a bunch of filters and things like that Fred Osterman at the Universal helped get for Mom and Dad, and now it's sitting on her desk and waiting for an antenna. So we're going to do that here pretty soon. The Drake R8 was my favorite, though. That was my favorite radio of all time. If all the radios that I've DX'd off of, the Drake R8 was the one for me, because it's just so cool. Let's see. Question about what omnidirectional antenna are we looking at? I'm doing something I want to try out. Something that I've heard works. I don't know, but we're gonna test it. So I was watching a video. I can't remember who it was that was on the video. They were talking to like a DX club or a ham radio club. And they were talking about performance of different FM antennas. And one of the best options for true omnidirectional, I'm talking like no null in the pattern whatsoever, because the one omnidirectional I have, it's a Winegard HD 6010. It's one of the turnstile antennas. It apparently does have a little bit of a null, kind of a heart-shaped pattern in one direction. So I want true omnidirectional. So the only way you can do that is to basically take a folded dipole and hang it vertically. And by folded dipole, if you've ever seen like one of the 4-element Yagis, it has the trombone slide. That's the folded dipole. So I had a 4-element Yagi, one of the Stellar Labs, and the front elements, one of them bent real bad, and the other one broke off because it fell. I was doing some maintenance on it. So I just took it apart, and I took that trombone slide off of there and put a ballon on to hook up the F connector for my feed line. And we're now going to pull that so that we have that to work off of for an omnidirectional antenna. We're going to hang it vertically, right? And just see what it does at 65 feet. We'll see. Hopefully it'll work well. We may have to tweak that ballon a little bit, maybe do a different something there. I don't know. I don't know if it's an exact, because I think that ballon is going to be normally matching like 300 to 75 ohms. I don't know if that folded dipole is going to be seeing 300 ohms out. But we'll check it out. All right. Let's take a look at the new logbooks. Now, you guys are familiar with this format here because this is what we have on our medium wave frequency challenge and the dashboard for the weeklies and for the all season analysis. But I was so impressed with it. I loved it so much. I was like, I'm doing my own logbook on this one because I've been looking for a replacement for the one that I've been doing, which is an old Google site, and it just kind of clunky and not easy to update. So I was looking for something a little bit more robust. This Looker Studio stuff from Google is just chef's kiss. It's probably way more complicated for me to do a video explaining how to do Looker Studio. I don't know if that'll be something we'll do. I don't know, maybe. But there's a lot of layers to this. There's a lot that you can do with Looker Studio. So my suggestion, if you're interested in doing something like this, I can maybe do a video showing the basics, and then you would kind of run with it from there. But this is such an awesome tool, and I've been using it as I've been DXing. I've had it up on one of my vertical screens that I have here, just to help me see, like, okay, do I have this station? Or, oh, wow, that's a new one from Kansas. How many Kansas stations do I have, or whatever, right? So I've got my usual filters up here and all my usual stats pages over here on the right. Very similar to what I have for the medium wave frequency challenge. I did add one for season and timing, so I can look at like this year over last year, over the year before, and so forth, and then the radios and antennas, so I can kind of see which antennas have I been using and so forth. And then one for Louisiana stats specifically, so that I can see like what I have here in the state and what's left. Let's look at calendar year 2025. That's kind of our retrospective here. So in 2025, we on AM have logged 67 stations. I love this. Once you do the filter, it just, there it goes. 15 U.S. states have been logged, including D.C. They're in there. 16 countries. We've heard more countries than states this year. Our furthest reception was 4,922 miles, probably Paraguay. Mexican states, we've heard 8 different Mexican states. No Canadian provinces this year. We have not logged a single station from Canada in all of 2025. After 2023 to 2024 was such a productive year for us, we heard Saskatchewan, we heard Manitoba, we heard British Columbia in that range, and I think Quebec was in there too. So, we had like all these new provinces in that span, and this year, nothing. Here are all the logs here, so I can kind of look through all the 67 if I wanted to. Some of the ones that kind of stand out, there's some Colombians, the Hondurians. Let's see. Yeah. Trying to see if there's any. South Dakota, we did log our second South Dakota station, which was nice. Got Sturgis here. That was recent, actually. So mostly international stuff we've been kind of really focusing on over the last year, really kind of focusing on the Latin American stuff. Let's look at, here's the heat map. So this shows you where all the DX is that we've heard here in Mandeville in the US. Let's look at it now for just 2025. And that'll show you it's been quite a bit here in this little area right here in upper Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, into Tennessee. A little bit of Florida has been in there as well. Again, this is just AM. State stats. Again, we haven't heard a lot from a state perspective. Here's the overall. I've heard 18.9. That seems a little high. No, that's right. 18.9% of AM stations in the U.S. I've logged here for Mandeville. 8.9%. And you can see the percentage by state. So Louisiana obviously is going to be a big one. Texas is going to be a pretty big number. Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida. But I'm very happy with how far that stretches out inland as well. So that's pretty nice. Looking at country stats, we look at the ones for 2025 here. So we've gotten 33 logs from the U.S., 8 Colombians, 8 Mexican stations, 3 from Nicaragua, 3 from Honduras, 2 Cubans, Panama, Antigua, Costa Rica, and Peru. And then BVI, British Virgin Islands, Argentina, Antigua, Ecuador, Costa Rica, and what do we have? A couple of those repeating. Huh. Again, nothing out of Canada. Mexican stats. Let's look at Mexico. 2025, 8 states. So each one of these has basically been its own state. The most recent one was Michoacan here that we got on the 26th, right? No, that's this season. It was a couple days ago. XEML and 770. That was a new state for us a couple days ago. But you see what we've heard here in 2025. Pretty nice distribution here. And we have also our audio locker down here as well. So this is where I have all of my air checks, so forth. So if I want to see, what do I have that I can listen? If I want to hear, hey, what does my air check for so-and-so have on it? Same thing for FM. Let's look at our FM stuff here for 2025. A bit more productive on the FM side this year. Out of 1,644 total stations logged on FM, we have heard 430 new ones here in 2025 so far. 37 U.S. states, 7 countries on FM. U.S., Canada, Mexico. But this year, we added Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras on FM. I cannot tell you how happy that made me. Get those 4 extra ones in the logbook this year. Further reception this year, 1,394 miles, 2 Canadian provinces, 19 Mexican states. So that's been nice. Here's the full log of all 430 of them. Some highlights here that I'll show from a U.S. state perspective. 40 states that we've heard here, including D.C., from Mandeville on FM. 5.9% of all U.S. stations we've logged on FM here. A much, much smaller percentage. But I mean, you've got, 1,800, I think, stations out in California. So that's a big chunk of why we're have a lower percentage there. 1,687, that's how many it was. If I look at just this year, 37 states, here's what we've heard. Didn't hear Arizona this year in 2025. We did last year, not this year. But you see up here in the Northeast, we did get New Hampshire finally. Still looking for Vermont and Maine, and we didn't hear Rhode Island this year. We do have them, though. But still looking for Vermont and Maine. That'll finish us out in the Northeast and east of the Mississippi. And then out west, it's all this stuff, right? It's Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Utah. That's one we don't have on FM. So I can actually show you again here. There's the full maps. From a country standpoint, it was this year, right? Until this year, it was just Mexico, Canada, and U.S. Now this year, we had Jamaica. We had 26 out of Jamaica, Cayman Islands 7, Cuba 3, and Honduras the 1. But there's more there. I just got to spend some time on that recording. See that there. We also did the same thing. I mean, same breakouts here for Canada, Mexico, Louisiana. Here's the Mexican one here to show. We've gotten 130 stations from Mexico. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states from Mexico, and we'll have them all. But I think 6 from AM. Yeah, 6 on AM and these on FM. I also did pull out pages here for our auto loggers. You can see specifically for our auto loggers how many stations have been logged via autolog and what propagation brought them in. You can see that there and which frequencies did it. You can also see sporadic E. We did a page specifically to sporadic E, and there's a ton of stuff. I've got the media locker here, which includes both air checks and RDS. We've got a bunch of different stats here on E's, where they're coming from. I mean, look at that map. That's the E map right there, where they're coming from. Think we hear the Northeast? Yeah. And the Minnesota problem I have on AM, it's not a problem on FM. Minnesota's all over the place here. Mileage, bearing, median bearing, like all kinds of stats here. So something I'm really excited to kind of dive into this year. Tropo, same kind of basic premise. We did the same stuff. Same thing with meteor scatter as well. You'll see the numbers here. 85 meteor scatter logs so far. We haven't done a lot of meteor scatter here, but a little bit. Local. So this is basically deadband, right? So what are we hearing deadband? Louisiana, Mississippi. I'd like to get some Florida, Alabama in here, but that usually takes a little bit of tropo enhancement to get. I have my band scan is live here now. So both our YouTube video with all of our audio clips from our band scan, but then also the actual band scan with all of our details. We'll be doing a new one of these this winter. Our RDS gallery, so all the links for all of our anything that's going to RDS decode, it automatically is going to show up here. AirCheck autologger, same thing. All the stuff we have clips for. So quite a bit in here on this Looker Studio. It makes it so nice and easy. Once you get everything set up, and it takes, you have to have all the stuff in your logbook. Once it's in your logbook, you can put it in this Looker Studio and really just go to town on it. Jacob asked if I have 780K AZM in Sedona. No, the only one I have out of Arizona is KTNN. Not anything else yet. Let's see. There we go. You guys are digging the logs. Nice. Cool. Map chart for those maps. No, that's all geo maps. It's Google Geo Maps and Looker Studio. It's all native. I'll show you here. There are two kinds. There is your regular geo map, where you basically, it's the geo maps in Google are broken down by geography level. So you have like country maps. So that would be like, if you look here on the medium, let's do the medium wave. That's going to look like here, right? So it's going to show you, here's all the countries, and it shows you how many entities or logs or whatever metric you're tracking per country. And there's the full world map of what I've heard here. Where's Algeria? Why isn't Algeria colored in? I got to fix that. They should be. Oh, it's because we blocked that out. That's why. Okay. Now Algeria should be. Boom, there they are. Okay. That makes me feel better. And that looks better now, too. So you got that kind. And then you've also got this other kind that I call it the location map, right? So you've got this one. This is just your kind of heat map of states or countries or whatever. And then this is the location one down here. Nope, wrong one. On this one. Oh, this is the heat map. This one. That one. So what you're basically doing here is you take the city, state, and country of each log that you have, and you do a concatenation. So you have a column where you basically say, okay, combine city, state, and country in this cell and make a concatenated location. And then that map, that geo, is looking at, it's a geo level city. And so it's looking for that city, state, country, and it'll populate your map based off of that. And we have the same thing on Canada, the Canadian here. There's that, and then there's the heat map of locations there. And the same thing for Mexico, too. This one's really cool. I like this one a lot. Mexican location map. So there's just different levels of geo maps within Google that you can use. So, we've got a new frequency challenge to announce. We're going to say goodbye to the daytime and hello to a new one. Here we go. So we're taking, using some of the data from our frequency analysis that we did, our frequency challenge analysis. 1350 is our least covered frequency. 58.5% of U.S. stations that are licensed and out there and available have been reported by DXers to the frequency challenge on 1350. Only 58.5. That's our lowest by far. Okay. So I want to see us be able to get that number up. And then 1360 is like 70 something, 78%. So it's not super high, but it's also not super low. But I think we can get that number up as well. So 1350 and 1360, that's where we're going to focus our attention over the next week. And I think 1350 is one we haven't done a whole lot with since we started the frequency challenge. So it'd be nice to kind of get back to it. Let's get ready for our next hour here of DX. Let's take a really quick look at a couple of the conditions here. Let's look at first weather band, looking pretty barren still, pretty normal for us. So that's the tropo is not super rich there. Let's look here on the ELAD. A little bit stronger signals here. You see a little more yellow than that light blue we saw earlier. So the signals are getting stronger, but it's still not like exotic here. I'm still seeing KVPI in Villa Platte on 92.5. I'm still seeing, let's see what we have here. Probably maybe Mobile, probably the Ritter. Go up high. Still seeing a gap here at 107.7 right here. Yeah, the tropo is not really bubbling in too much right now. We're going to keep an eye on it as we continue to go through the night. But I think we can probably get started with our next DX session here back on the AM band. This DX session brought to you by the National Radio Club. NationalRadioClub.org is where you want to go for more information on becoming a member of NRC. Let's look at our start with the shortwave central CAD on our Air Spy. Now I'm doing this because on 1350 here locally we have WWWL here in New Orleans, the bet. So we're gonna go down here to 1350 here. You're going to see that signal peaking up real fast. We're going to have to use the CCC this week to get around them. Let's see who we got.
Not with us. It takes just about 20 minutes, and you can change your plan anytime without
DX Central Live, top of the hour alert.
All right, it's top of the hour time frame. That means we are looking for IDs. Let's go ahead and get rid of our local WWWL. Using the code channel cancel here in AirSpy. They are gone. See if we hear anything in their wake underneath. Don't know if we will or not. One little tip I'll tell you, I do this with the 870 WWL. Sometime if you have a really strong local, even if you're like clicking on your micro tuner here onto that carrier to get rid of it, it can still sometimes be tough to get rid of them. I find on super strong signals like that, locals, if you use auto tune, it seems to work a little better, especially like WWL as a carrier that likes to drift. So that kind of keeps up with it. So that's one little tip for you. If you're trying to get rid of a local and clicking on the carrier and the micro tuner is not doing great, try the auto tune. That might work for you. It's going to be a tough one this week. Take care, Stephanie. Happy New Year, my friend. Going to be showing off the new toroid we'll be sending out your way in the next hour. This guy.
common no tricks. Got a carrier off here. And we did. Yeah, that could be a tough one. Go 1360. That's going to be a tough one. That might be one we have to use Linrad as a use case for us. Matthew was asking about our ELAD FDMS3. When I got mine, it was 2020, 21, somewhere in there. I got it directly from the guy who at the time was the U.S. VP of sales at ELAD. He lived up the road from me when I was in Charleston, so I bought it from ELAD and then met up with him and picked it up. I think you can. They're hard to find now. I know DX Engineering has them listed, but I think it shows they're not in stock right now. I think DX Engineering is the new like ELAD micro telecom person or place. They're anticipating to get some more in maybe in March, is what they're saying right now. So hopefully, if that's something that interests you, they'll have a chance. This is a full band. This is a full FM 24 megahertz bandwidth SDR. So that allows for full band recordings or viewing the entire band all at once, like we saw here when we were looking at our FM band. That's the entire band that the ELAD has available all at once. So there you go. All right, so didn't hear anything this hour on the Southern Cas. Let's just I know it's gonna be the same on the vertical. It's gonna be even worse probably on the vertical. The signals are stronger there. FM still looking pretty. In fact, some of that yellow we had in there now is starting to kind of fade out again. The blue. So not super stable right now. Tropo here. Maybe as we get into the overnight in the morning, that might be better. We'll see. Matthew says he's looking for a radio for recording the FM band. There's only a couple out there. The ELAD's one that does the entire band at once. There's another one, I forget who makes it. It's I think it's the same people that do Rig Expert, I think. Remember right? Ham radio gear. I've heard mixed reports back on that one. Some say it's great, some say it's not. that it overloads and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't have any experience with it. The Efferny, I don't know a lot about it. Your best bet is usually going to be if you have a computer that can handle one of the SDR plays, like the RSP Duo, RSP-DX, RSP-1B. Those are probably pretty good for FM because you can do up to 10 megahertz at a time on those, which is half the band. And the RSP-1B is, I think, $200 or $300, so you can probably get two for less than the cost of the ELAD. And if you have a computer that can run two of those at the same time and full 10 megahertz wide, you got yourself the full FM band. That's probably, I think that's what most folks are doing, is using something like that has a little bit wider bandwidth, like 8-10 megahertz at a time, and at least doing a big chunk of the band. Again, you have to have a computer that can handle that kind of bandwidth at once, and not all of them can. You'll definitely want to have something like an SSD to be recording to, because if you aren't using like an SSD, when I first got my ELAD, I was recording to a hard disk, an old hard disk, and it was not liking it very well. So I had to start using SSD because, and then moving it over because it couldn't keep up. It kept dropping. You'd be listening, and all of a sudden, like 3 seconds of audio were gone, or 10 seconds of audio were gone, because it couldn't keep up writing to that hard disk. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got more to talk about. We've got to do DX test conversation for to be in AM 1280 up in Wisconsin. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about common mode chokes. We're going to talk about those N30 TDK N30 toroids I have over here behind me. We'll do a little bit of talk about the vertical, some of the radials we're going to put out. We got more shout outs to get to, so plenty of stuff to keep us busy. Don't go anywhere, my friends. More DX Central Live is heading your way right after this.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
For more than 90 years, the National Radio Club has been at the forefront of providing DXers with the latest in station news, DX-related technical information, and reception reports from DXers around the world. The NRC's AM radio log is the most expansive and detailed resource of station information for U.S. and Canadian radio stations that is available in any format. The club's publication, the DX News, is available in both print and electronic format and provides the latest information on call letter and format changes, construction permits, and other information to help keep DXers informed of the latest updates they may hear on the air. For more information, visit their website at nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org. The International Radio Club of America gives DXers incredible value by putting important station information right at your fingertips. The club's e-publication, the DX Monitor, includes DXer loggings, station information updates, international loggings, and more. Other club publications include the IRCA Mexican Log, a must-have resource for any DXer that chases stations from Mexico, the TIS-HAR list, the IRCA slogan list, sunset sunrise maps, and DXer technical guides. The joint IRCA-NRC email reflector and groups.io group is a hub for real-time DX conditions, station news, and DX-related conversation. For more information, visit ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. From long wave to satellites, medium wave through HF, ham radio to scanners. If you can DX it, the Spectrum Monitor has you covered. Editor and publisher Ken Reitz has assembled a who's who of radio writers to share their knowledge and expertise from a wide range of DX-related topics. Each month, the Spectrum Monitor's columnists dive into their specialties to give readers tips, tricks, the latest news and station updates, and more. The Spectrum Monitor also provides a monthly assortment of feature articles that give in-depth insight into the past, present, and future of DXing. You can get a full year of the Spectrum Monitor for only $24. Individual issues from the current year are available for $3 each. You can also purchase previous years of the Spectrum Monitor in their entirety for as low as $12. For more information, visit thespectrummonitor.com. That's thespectrummonitor.com.
Can't get enough DX? Then the DX Central from the Static podcast is for you. Take DX Central on the go and listen to episodes from DX Central Live, interviews with prominent members of the DX community, tips, tricks, how-tos, your DX memories and stories. And that's just the start. You can find the From the Static podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Listen Notes, or anywhere you get podcasts, or by visiting FromTheStatic.net. That's FromTheStatic.net. For stories, signals, and voices from across the airwaves, don't miss the DX Central From the Static podcast.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
They're out there chasing the night. The street lights glow, but I've got my shortwave on. It's my kind of show. Skip the parties and the fights. I've got frequencies to find. Stay home, tune in. That's my vibe. Catch the static from the world. It's alive. Who needs trouble when the airwaves hum? Stay home and tune in. Let the signals come. Let the signals come.
From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
But I'm catching whispers from.
It's DX Central Live from the North Shore Studios here in beautiful Mandeville, Louisiana.
Beating to the static.
A little over a mile off the shores of Lake Pontchartrain.
This is my world. No
Massive Lake Pontchartrain.
walls. Stay home and tune in. That's my vibe.
That's my vibe. Everybody else, like New Year's Eve, they're going to be out and about partying and on the roads and all that. No. Here in this house, you know what I'm doing? I'm looking for Latin America. No, this is something I've talked about before. If the conditions cooperate, Latin American DX on New Year's Eve is so good. It is so good. You want to start around midnight Atlantic time, which is 2 hours before here in Central, an hour before Eastern. That will get you Puerto Rico, or a shot at Puerto Rico. They still do live radio down there, okay? In Puerto Rico and Colombia and all these other countries, Ecuador. We did a live stream for it last year. The conditions were okay. We got some stuff. 2 years ago, it was phenomenal conditions. Oh my God, it was so good. But you'll have a lot of stuff in there that really sticks out, like air raid sirens. You'll have countdowns. You'll have fireworks. You can hear the crowds. In Columbus, they play Año Nuevo, en la vida. I mean, it's amazing. So it's something I highly recommend. I'll be here DXing. We may do a live stream. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll be DXing for sure on at least part of New Year's Eve, or at the very least doing some recordings and then going back later and reviewing them. And so even if you're not going to want to, stay up late, just do some recordings. You're not going to regret it. And the cool thing about that is, like the Colombians, for instance, last year, 2 years ago, I had all the RCN radio outlets, right? And I knew exactly, because I had the loudest one on 770 that I could hear. And I would, okay, here's what they're doing. And I go over to 1000. I go to 910. I go to all the different places where there was an RCN outlet, and I would get them. I go to Radio Nacional de Colombia. What were they doing at midnight? Okay, let me go get all the ones that are on that one. To get some of these networks in some of these countries, you can parallel them very easily. Say, oh, there's the air raid siren. If that's all I hear, I know that's them, because I have it over here on 770 or 680 or whatever it might be. So it is such a good time to do Latin American DX. I highly, 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 highly recommend you swing your antennas down towards the south for New Year's Eve and go look for Latin America. US DX is boring on New Year's Eve. It's just ABC News, Fox News, and they're counting down New Year's in New York. I mean, it's canned. It's nothing exciting. Down south, That's exciting. Man, they have fun. You hear national anthems out of Cuba, all kinds of stuff. So please do yourself a favor. Swing your antennas down south. New Year's Eve, look for Latin America. You are not going to regret it. Okay? You're probably. I hope that some of you get some new stuff. If conditions are cooperating, maybe you will. But even if they're not, maybe you might hear at least something that sticks out, like an air raid siren. I'll be trying to do as much as I can to post clips and things in the Slack channel or wherever else on social media, Facebook, whatever, about what we're hearing, even days after the fact. So if you review your recordings, you can compare to what we heard. We'll be uploading air checks, I'm sure, like we usually do for it. So it's just, it's a really, really cool thing to do. Latin American DX New Year's Eve. It's a great tradition. So stay home, tune in, try for some Latin Americans. Shout out time.
Shout out loud, hear the call for every single big or small, from AM to FM, from sea to sea. We celebrate the ones who snag the IT. Shout out loud, let it be known, you're never DXing all alone. Through the static we found our way. Shout outs making waves today.
All right, we got some big ones here. Shout outs. Big shout out. You can get yours in still. dxchallenges.com/shoutout. Don't think you've missed out. There's still plenty of time to do that. Let's see here. Okay. Let's start with our friend Stuart up in Michigan. Always interesting to see the stuff he gets, because he's one of us who likes to DX multiple different areas. He does a little bit of AM, he does a little bit of FM, he does a little bit of weather band, he does a little bit of ham radio, right? He's going to sprinkle all that kind of stuff in here. So always good to see the shout outs of what he's getting here. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to DXers everywhere listening on the stream and the podcast. Hope I wasn't the only one to get a bingo. That's a bingo. Congratulations to those DXers who received winter e-skip during the past couple of nights. There was a couple little, even more excited about potentially receiving it here now that I had a dream about it a few nights ago. Meanwhile, I can't complain too much because I had some amazing tropo on Christmas Eve. Before I get into that, I had completely forgotten to share a pair of new AM Skyway vlogs from last week. 790 WQXI Radio Korea out of Atlanta. That's 585 miles. And 1620 The Zone KOZN Bellevue, Nebraska, 635 miles. New logs for our friend Stuart there. I thought I'd also try sending last week's clip of 9037 KAIR again. I think I sent the wrong file. We'll give that a listen. My trip to southeastern New Hampshire also went well, despite not getting to do too much DX. Here's a few highlights. 92 Pro FM on 92.3 WPRO in Providence, Rhode Island, 100 miles, full RDS, nice. 94.7 WMAS in Enfield, Connecticut, 109 miles. Hope FM, 102.7 VICX LP in Concord, New Hampshire, 10 watts, 24 miles. Maine Public Classical, 104.1 W281AC in Portland, Maine, 250 watts at 53 miles over a semi-local. And 107.9 WJZP LP in Portland, Maine, 35 watts, 53 miles over semi-local, a new LPFM distance record. Also heard two 10-second unidentified meteor bursts on 94.7 in the early morning during the peak of the Ursids meteor shower. Christmas Eve brought some amazing tropo, especially on the NOAA Weather Radio Band that lasted throughout Christmas Day in an abbreviated form. Here are all my new logs from that event. So on FM, My Hope FM, WNFH 98.9 in Vassar, Michigan, 66 miles over local IBOC station. Relay at WITL in Mason, Michigan, 250 watts at 42 miles. That's 95.3 W237BY. Easy 93.3, that's W227DO in Lansing, Michigan, 125 watts. 101.7 The One, CKNX in Wingham, Ontario. I think I've heard them here. 179 miles. On the Weather Radio Band, WXJ87 on the .55, Madison, Wisconsin, 299 miles. 210 miles from KJY68 on the .5 in Ohio. Let's see, 334 miles. 334 miles for Gilbert, West Virginia. The XM75 on the .475, and that's a new state on the NOAA Weather Radio Band form. Gaylord, Michigan, 179 miles for WWF70 on the .5. .5 as well for Garfield, West Virginia. 265 miles on WXM 70. See, that's how that works. You haven't heard West Virginia, you get one. Here comes some more. Valparaiso, Indiana, mixing with others over local WNG 689 on the .45. 2-meter ham radio, W8DGN 147.045 in Bellbrook, Ohio. KB8WQ 145.21 in Ohio. 93YFO 145.39 in Pennsylvania. And W8SP 145.35 in Fairmount, West Virginia. All those were about 200 miles or just a little bit less. About 300 miles or less. For those interested, I'll be uploading several of my NOAA weather radio catches to my YouTube channel soon. Nice. Love it. Love seeing it. Also received some new gear for Christmas. Make sure you send us the link, by the way, and we'll subscribe to you, and we'll also promote that for you. Also received some new gear for Christmas. The Sangean HDR14 portable radio. Love it. Got it sitting right over here. Can't wait to try it out during the next DX events, not only to get potential HD decodes during eSkip openings, but to test out the HD feature on the AM band during Skywave. It's a really great radio. Okay, it's a super nice one. Love it. I've taken this all over the place. I've DX'd out of airplanes with it. I've DX'd out of hotel rooms with it. It's really good. You're gonna love it. It's so good at FM. Taking to the beach and DX'd off of it. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope 2026 brings lots of great DX to all. I concur. Let's see this audio clip we've got here from KAIR 93.7. Yep.
The best mix of hit country. KAIR-FM.
Nice. Love it when you get those little IDs like that, man. Let's see. We got some stuff to give you here, including new logs to saw. Eric. We got new state in there. We got some fireworks to shoot off for you. And I know it's Tropo. I know. Tropo. I'm Team Tropo all way. It's Jif as well. We're not going to get into that argument, but it's Jif. He also got some Wisconsin, so we got to cut some cheese tonight. I know it's Tropo. It's the Troposphere. I get it. Let's see. Well done, man. I think you also mentioned you broke a distance record there, so we'll give you that milestone.
This is W8SRC. And you're looking at the W8SRC.
There you go. There's Stuart's YouTube channel link. Just pulled it up. We're hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when new videos are available. We're doing it here for our friend Stuart. So, well done, man. We'd love to see some more air checks uploaded when you get a chance. Would love to see what you get. Let's see. All right, Aiden, also in Michigan. Michigan folks, getting some DX. How do I know? Well, read this. We've got ourselves a nice one here. This week has been relatively uneventful. No new states, no new Latin stations. Latin America's been almost non-existent here this week. Yeah, it's been pretty weak here too. But I did log a few new stations, including some on the FM side. New AM ones are in order of being heard. Starting with 560 WIND in Chicago for Illinois, number 26. 1200 KFNW, West Fargo, North Dakota. That's in North Dakota, number 3. And 1200 WOAI, San Antonio, Texas, number 10. Very faint under CFGO. Let's see. K830 WCRN, Worcester. I know how to say that one. Worcester, Massachusetts. Or Massachusetts, number 4. 1330 WAEW in Crossville, Tennessee. Hey, better. So this is maybe a relog, but I put it here just to say this. Barry, I got your logo. Did. 970 to be KCI, Waynesboro, Virginia for Virginia number 15, and 1070 to be NCT, Greenville, North Carolina. North Carolina number 17. KGYN in Guyman. Now, let's talk about this one. The first station on 1210 besides WPHT is Oklahoma number 6 for him. Heard sports talk under PHT, which was coming in clearer thanks to my local on 1200. WMUZ was off earlier that evening. You see a pattern with these first stations on this frequency besides a lot of them are from Oklahoma. Last week I talked about KOTV and KZLS. Well, when my local 1270 was off to WXYT, I got a regional Mexican station on that frequency, and guess where it was from? Oklahoma. Even though I did log an oldie station before that to be LIK in Newport, Tennessee, the point still stands. Oklahoma, of all the states, produces a lot of stations on frequencies that I only had one log on for the longest time. See? When you methodically go about that logbook and you just look for those holes and look for those gaps, surprise what you can uncover under those rocks. 1080 WFTD in Marietta, Georgia. That's Georgia number 13. Match with the Kiwi in North Georgia. And 960 WFIR, Roanoke, Virginia for Virginia number 16. Heard WFIR over the WWJ slop and the static, and there it was. Also, this is my 500th station, including locals, logged on AM. Just using portables and car radios, but that's all about to change. Wait until the end to hear more. I'm now halfway to ticking the 1,000 logs reach button. Oh, man. Can't wait to hit that one. Yeah, we'll save it. Got a little excited there. 790 to be KRD, Louisville, Kentucky for Kentucky number 24. To be AOK in Atlanta, Georgia, 1380. Georgia number 14. Fun fact, logged more new FM stations that day than I did AM, which is rarity for winter. So that is interesting. And 1440 HKZ in Warren, Ohio for Ohio number 53. WBUC in West Virginia for West Virginia number 14. That's 1460 for them. 1090 WBAL for Baltimore, Maryland, and Maryland number 8. I wanted this one for a while, but since WCAR is strong, when I can null it at night, it's mostly KAAY's religious programming. Feel you on that one. Feels nice to get this Maryland station, my first from the Baltimore area. The only other one I have from Baltimore, I don't have BAL here. I do have, which is interesting because in Washington, D.C., think about this for a second. In Washington, D.C., on my U-loop, my AirSpy U-loop, I had KAAY in Little Rock and WBAL equal in D.C. Equal. Here in New Orleans area, AAY is there and a lot of Latins. No BAL. That was with a U-loop. $35. Not too bad, huh? And AirSpy HF Plus Discovery didn't hurt. Feels nice to get this one from Maryland, my first from the Baltimore area. Now, December 24th, Trompo opening. See? Stuart had it. Aiden had it too. Trompo in my area is kind of meh compared to other places that regularly get 200 miles, which is rare here on FM outside of East Skip in the summertime, and on the occasional Lake Erie opening that brings in Buffalo. 92.9 WGTZ in Eaton, Ohio. 106.9 WXXC in Marion, Indiana. 99.5 WGAR in Cleveland, Ohio. Using the code channel canceller with SDR Sharp to do to get rid of the YCD, and another country station was underneath. 97.1 to be REO in Ohio. Also, code channel canceller coming in handy there. 92.3 to be KRK, Cleveland Heights. Another one. Handy. Code channel canceller. 89.1 to be LKB, Bay City, Michigan. Again, code channel canceller. Starting to see a theme here. 102.9 to be YFM in Pennsylvania. Again, code channel canceller. 107.1 WSAQ, Port Huron, Michigan. Again, code channel canceller. Now for the third and final section of the shout out. For Christmas, I got a DX Engineering $160 noise loop. Maybe if I hook it up to my RTL SDR, I could stop relying on portables and car radios for AM DXing. Also, here's a recording of CHLO a little less than 200 miles away during the day. you go. So there's quite a bit to unpack here. We got AM, we got FM, we've got new logs to saw. We've got a goal achieved. And the new milestone also achieved. Some distance records. Getting rid of some locals using the code channel canceller. That thing is so powerful. And that's with an RTL SDR dongle. Well done, man. Well done to our friend Aiden up in Michigan. Some good catches there. Coming up this next hour, we've got Keegan. Friend Keegan up in Boot Crew North up here in Arkansas. We're going to do a catch-up shout-out for our friend Keegan of all the cool stuff that's been heard since, October? So, got some good stuff to get in here for our friend Keegan. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that. Coming up next, let's talk about DX tests. So, we don't have a lot of these anymore, but when we do, they can be pretty fun, pretty rewarding. And we've got a couple coming up here in February out in California. That's going to be interesting to see if we can hear those. But I want to read you guys some details on what's coming up here this next week. Now, we're going to be putting out an official release on this one here pretty soon from the Courtesy Programming Committee, the CPC. This is for 1280 WNAM up in Wisconsin. Now, when we first heard that they were going off the air, I did a reach out to Steve. Now, this station, for those of you who might not be familiar, as I wasn't until someone alerted me, they're actually very receptive and very DX friendly. There's actually a place on their website for DX reports, to submit your DX reports, where they talk about all the different people who have heard them and so forth. So, reaching out to the guy who runs that, Steve, I was like, let's talk about a DX test, man. Let's let WNAM go out with a bang. You're already very DX friendly. Let's make this even more DX friendly if you have the time. And he agreed. And so they've put together a nice little 2-minute clip that's going to run every hour, starting at midnight on the 30th. Through the 5 o'clock hour. Okay. I'm just going to be reading you the details that he sent me on the email. So starting at 3 minutes after the hour. So that's after a 3-minute update from ABC News. So they're going to run ABC News at the top of the hour. And then they're going to run this little 2-minute DX friendly clip. I'm not going to play it right now, but what we have in this clip, we have Morse code. There's sweeps in here. There's jingle IDs. There's some instructions for people to how to report in. For getting QSLs back and things like that. So this will be running on December 30th and December 31st. Audio will air at 3 minutes after the hour following a 3-minute ABC News update. It's going to be happening from midnight through 5:05 a.m. Central Time. Okay, so midnight Central to 5:05 a.m. Central every hour, from basically 3 after the hour to 5 after the hour. This little DX test, again, sweeps, Morse code, jingles, and some other stuff in there as well. It starts off with a hook telephone sound. WNAM will go dark at 23:59 Central Time, December 35, following a 3-hour recreation of its glory years of the late 1970s as Blue 128 using air checks of previous jocks. They're going to produce QSL cards for this sign-off period. Looking forward to reception reports. So again, very DX friendly. So again, we'll be putting out a release here pretty soon from the CPC on this and putting on social media, sending it to the IRCA, NRC. Although I think it's going to be a little late before the event, but if you set up a recording during the event, you'll be able to get this information on kind of where to go for QSLs and stuff like that. We're gonna do a live stream. We're gonna live stream it here. It's gonna be a little tough because we have WODT here in 1280 here in New Orleans, so the code channel canceller is gonna. So yeah, we'll do our best to live stream it from here, with our local on frequency. But again, December 30th, December 31st, from midnight through 5:05 Central Time at the top of the hour. So if you're just running top of the hour recordings, you'll be set. Just run it from like 58, 59 after the hour to give yourself a little bit of a buffer there, like 06, 07 after the hour. You may also want to record that retrospective recreation of the glory years they're talking about. It's a 3-hour program that ends at midnight, so it's going to start right around 9 o'clock Central Time on the 31st. So again, the morning of December 30th, morning of December 31st, and then that night, December 31st, a 3-hour show that'll start around 9 o'clock. I would imagine they're going to be running. I have a query out to Steve on this to confirm, but I would imagine we'll be running daytime or nighttime power on this since it's going to be part of their regular programming. I doubt they're going to come in there and switch it on just for that, because then they'd have to go back and switch it off outside of that 2 minutes. So it's going to probably be nighttime pattern and power. But there you go. This will be Neenah, Menasha, Wisconsin, 1280 WNAM, midnight to 5:05 a.m. Central Time every hour, top of the hour, for 2 minutes, from 3 minutes after the hour to 5 minutes after the hour. Again, December 30th and 31st. There you go. So if you need WNAM, join us. We'll be doing some live stream. Now, it's going to be a lot of off camera, but I'll be trying to hear them and see if we can get that one in the logbook before they go. So we'll, again, put the release out and share all the details here very, very soon. We wanted to give WNAM a proper send-off. Real quick, let's look at the auto logger map here, because this is interesting. So I just kind of showed you guys earlier. WQKQ here in Dallas City, KKPT here in is that Little Rock? Yeah, Little Rock. WWYN here in McKenzie, Tennessee. Now, let me give you an example of how that new logbook that we were showing you earlier can help here. So I know I've got KKPT and I know I've got Dallas City, because I remember when I heard those two stations, but I just don't remember if WWYN is in the logbook. So let's go over here and type it in. WWYN, search it, and they are there. They have been heard on April 19th, 2025 via Tropo. That's WYN 106.9. And so, yeah, they're already there. So that will not be a new one for me, but I was able to easily and quickly find that with our new logbook format. So that already is helping out. That's a real world example of how that can be useful. Let's talk common mode chokes. We talked about this last year quite a bit. So I will point you to that episode from last year, season 5. It's up on our archive at dxcentrallive.com. We went into a little more detail than I will tonight. But the basic premise of a common mode choke is that if you are feeding your antenna with coax, RG8X, RG6 quad shield, RG11, whatever, coax, you think it's a 2-conductor. You think there's the center pin copper, right? And then you think that there is the shield, the braid. So that's a 2-conductor, right? So you've got one conductor going to the collar of your coax connector, the other one to the center pin, and that's what you got, right? There's actually 3 conductors in a coax feed line. There's your center pin and your braid, but it's the outer skin of the braid. But then there's also the inner skin of the braid. So if you think about that metal braid that's inside the coax, there is the outer part of that, but there's also the inner part of that braid. So there's the top part and then there's underneath. Well, that underneath part is a 3rd conductor. And so it is going to do a really good job at picking up noise, specifically common mode noise, electrical noise, things like that. So it can really wreak havoc on your AM band, especially. And so people use what are called common mode chokes to get rid of the noise. Now, last year when I was doing this, I had these little FT140, FT114 type J, these little bitty toroids that I was winding. And I was using those, and that's what I have in use over here. And it was doing a decent job at getting rid of the noise. But I want to beef this up because we've got some noise here in our neck of the woods here in Louisiana. Salt air and all that kind of stuff. So we originally had upgraded to whabam, this guy. This is an FT240 toroid with 30 wraps of RG316 rather coax around it. So what basically you have is you have this wire that wraps around it. You connect it to one side and the other side of a little box. You have one side's the shield and the other side's the center pin, and then you put like an SMA or BNC connector or whatever on the box, and you connect your antenna in, connect the other side to your radio, and what happens in theory is that you're sending all of this RF energy around this coax or around this ferrite choke here, right here, and it allows a signal to pass through on your basic 2 conductors, but it chokes out that 3rd conductor, so that noise and everything gets eliminated. Now, this is the one I have right now in our low noise vertical, and it's working really, really well. But I want to ramp it up. So we're moving to this. This is 43 turns of RG316 around a TDK N30. That's the one we have sitting over here. Let me show you a comparison of these toroids between the FT240 and the TDK. Now this is the FT240. You see him here, right? This is the TDK N30. You can't really see it very well on the camera, but this one is it's a bit heavier, a little more substantial, and the ferrite mix in here is really, really good for medium wave, because you have to be careful with that, right? Some of these ferrite mixes are better for higher frequencies and things like that, VHF. So you want one that's well tuned for AM. So any of these I've talked about here are good for AM. FT240 is good for AM. This N30 is also really, really good. But we put 43 wraps of RG316 around this N30, and I forget the number of dBs that this attenuates the noise. I think it's on our episode from last season. I think we talked about that specifically. We got the figures from Jeff Immel. Those of you who know him as Notorious. Notorious. BOG. This is going to be our new one. And so this one right here. Once I'm waiting on some boxes to come in, some little project plastic boxes I can put this into, and put the SMA mounts and everything. But once those come in, this one is going on the southern facing CAS. And I'm really hoping that this one gets rid of that electrical noise that's been plaguing us now for months. That's my hope. Because right now, I thought there was a common mode choke on that antenna. There's not. There's nothing. It's as the kids say, raw dogging the band right now. So we're gonna put one of these common mode chokes on there. This N30, this TDK N30 with the RG316, and see how that does. We're also going to do the same thing. We're going to put this, we're going to replace our FT240 that's on the low noise vertical with one of these. We're going to wind. We're going to put this on the other low noise vertical, the 45-footer. We're going to also put another one of these on Mom's 35-foot vertical. We're also going to put one of these on each our CASs and super loops. So those will all be choked out. Now, the alternative is you don't have to feed your antenna with coax. You can feed it with like a twisted pair, Cat6, and that kind of eliminates the need for a common mode choke for the most part, because you only have the 2 conductors, one and the other 2 wires. But if you're feeding with coax, common mode choke is probably not a bad idea. So we're going to be putting these together here, hopefully once the box, I think the box will be here Sunday. So looking forward to putting these together and putting it on. And you can actually daisy chain these together. You can put them in series. So let's say I have this FT240 and I don't want to get rid of it. So I can actually put this with, one box here and another box here and put them together and choke out the noise even more. It'll really attenuate the noise, but it doesn't impact the signal. Lets the signal go through, but the noise from that conductor gets stifled. So that's going to be a project hopefully coming up here this week if we get those boxes in, is to go in and make our common mode chokes and really not choke. We're going to strangle this noise. It's been too long. Again, these FT240s that I have, I've got this one now. I've got another one sitting over here on a low noise vertical. I'm just going to put these in series if I need to, or have them as backups. But everything, I'm going to be moving to these TDK N30s. These things are beasts. Look at that whine. Hopefully That will do the trick. Choke off the currents on the. It's yeah. We're choking off the third conductor essentially, right? To get rid of that common mode noise. Get rid of it. All right. Let's see what else we have to talk about. Did the DX test. We talked. Oh, Rick's in here. Rick is K9 AO in here, and good time for him because he's actually one of the ones who suggested we try this out. We have our low noise vertical, and we have the ground rod, the salt chemical ground, with a little chemical pipe in there. And I'm actually going to be redoing that one this weekend. I got my butane or my propylene or whatever torch. We're going to solder that ground wire from the high Z amplifier directly to the copper pipe instead of through like a screw that we're connecting it to now. He suggested some radials, which I mean, obviously I know radials for a vertical antenna are usually really, really good. I've got my DX Commander out here for 80 through 10 meters, and we've got a bunch of radials. I want to say they're 30 some odd feet long. I can't remember how long I have, but they're all packed up right now because I don't have the DX Commander up in vertical right now. It's kind of sitting there off the side because I'm running out of room. So I've done verticals before. I had a inverted L, 80 meter inverted L when I lived in Charleston. We had radials for that. So I knew that radials would be a good idea for a vertical, but I didn't know for a receive antenna just what kind of a difference it would make if I already had a ground rod. But from Rick's point of view and doing some reading on this, he's right. It's going to help it run more efficiently, right? It's going to hopefully help the antenna run more efficiently and give me some better low angle looks at some of the inbound DX. So I'm hoping that this will give us a little more bang for our buck with that vertical. I'm sure it might quiet it down a little bit. Maybe it's already pretty quiet, but I'm really excited to see what it does for like low angle skip and just helping that receive antenna run more efficiently. So we're going to throw out 16 radials this weekend. I've got some extra like 18 gauge wire, 20 gauge wire, whatever it was. I've got a big spool of it from Soda Beams, and we're just going to lay them out on the ground. Now, this is going to be a temporary thing because in the summertime, I'm going to yoink them up and pack them up and put them away so I can mow the grass because in Louisiana, the ground will pull it down. I haven't had luck with that, which is why my DX Commander is not up in the air right now because even after it would kind of sort of pull it up down on the ground, then the next rain would come through and wash it all out and it would be exposed again, and then the mower would I can't tell you how many radials I've yoinked with my riding lawnmower and my push mower that after a big rainstorm would come through and wash out the ground where the radials had been buried. Now they weren't. So we're just going to put them up during DX season and take them up in the summertime, and that should be fine. But during this time of the year when it's the quietest, I want to give my antenna the best shoes it can possibly have so it can run the farthest. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to put 16 radials down. They're going to be about 15 to 20 feet long. That's my guess. It's about 15 to 20 feet. And we're going to connect them up to the same, we're going to wind them all together. I think I actually might have an extra ground plate, radio plate from an old DX Commander I used to have. Might try that. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna connect that sucker up and see how it does. It'll help, maybe it won't. I don't know. The whole point of doing antenna stuff is to experiment and see how it goes. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, okay. David says those SMA connectors are a nightmare to terminate. My brother. You can't see it very well. Actually, let me see if I can do it better on the other camera. This is my little flush mount SMA thing. The pin on there is a tiny little guy, and I got some tiny little screws and nuts that I'm going to be using to flush mount that onto the box, and I'm going to try to solder those on. I really hope it works. If not, we're going to scrap the SMAs. We're going to go like BNCs. Those things are tiny. I'm not excited about that. When are we attaching the radials? Where are you attaching the radials on the vertical? So there's a couple of ways you can do this. And Rick, please correct me if I'm wrong because I don't want to screw this up. I have an extra radial plate. I'm pretty sure packed away somewhere. And basically what happens is you take how that radio plate worked is you'd have all your radios coming into this metal plate, and then you would attach, there was a point on there that would attach to like the back side of the coaxial connector, and that was attached to like the ground, and then all your verticals of the DX commander were attached to the center pin. So it'd probably be something along those lines. You can twist them all together, like pull them all into one central point, twist all the wire together, and then solder that to like the ground rod or to the to a terminal lug connector, and then put that on the high Z amplifier on the ground side. So you could do something like that. It just needs to be connected to that ground side, however that needs to happen. And so that's what we're going to be doing, is connecting all those up either on a radio plate or twisting them all together, putting a lug on there, or maybe doing like batches of 4 if it's too much, but like batches of 4 batches of 4, twist them together, put a terminal lug on there, and then put that on. So that's an option as well. So I'll try to take some pictures, and if we can do a video, I'll do a video. But I'll try to take some pictures at the very least and put them in the Slack channel or whatever, or show them next episode next year when we do our next episode. All right, we are coming up on top of the hour. Let's see what other topics we want to make sure we cover before we do our next DX session. Air Spy, we talked about that and showed that. Logbooks. I didn't think I was going to get all this topic stuff done tonight, but we did. The new challenge, DX test, FM Tropo, we talked about that. The new vertical. All the shout outs in. Do we have any more? We'll have Keegan's after the topic. Linrad, we showed that. So I think we got all our topics in. So let's DX. This DX session brought to you by International Radio Club of America, IRCAonline.org. Rick says, yep, that's it, Lloyd. Pretty simple. Connect the radios to the ground. Nothing is critical. The ground lug. So, yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get that sucker connected this weekend and see how she... All right, so we are on 1350 and 1360 as we are looking now at our brand new challenge we just announced for week 12. We are on those two frequencies, 1350, 1360, between now and next week. So DX to your heart's content. I have a local on 1350, a pretty strong one that's pretty difficult to get rid of, but we're going to do our best. That also makes 1360 a little wonky. Todd says, so coming off the ground side of the high Z terminal will work. Yes, it does, sir. You just want to get it onto that side, either off the ground rod itself or the ground terminal. However you need to connect those up. If you have a radio plate, you can do that, but then you'd have to have a wire that comes from the radio plate to that ground lug or to the ground rod or whatever you're using. Same basic premise. And so that's what we're going to try out here. 16 radials. I think Rick mentioned there's kind of diminishing returns. There's really not much of a point going much over 15, 20 feet. I mean, the longer you can get it, the better it's going to work. But, I mean, 15, 20 feet should be fine. And spread them out as much as you possibly can in all directions. Like when we do moms, there's going to be part of it's going to be the house. So I can't really go in that one direction. There might be a little bit of a lull to that one side, maybe a little bit, maybe. I know there would be on transmit, but maybe on receive there might be a little bit. But spread them out in as many directions as you can equally and go from there. Do the best you can with what you got. That's what we're going to do. All right, let's take a look here. Now we're on 1360 right now, and we are in upper sideband mode. I have to be because, well, here's dual sideband. Here's what that sounds like. I guess I could do that. Now you can use the code channel canceler for adjacent channel canceling, not just code channel. You can get rid of that adjacent channel splitter if you have something similar. We have a video about that here on the YouTube channel. Talks about that. In fact, let's test that out really quick, shall we? Let's go to 1350.
My most favorite radio shows that I've ever hosted. Thanks to my boy Jack Hardy, not just
We're
for
gonna
tonight, but all the shows.
zero in on it. Let's see if we can get rid of him. We're gonna go 30,000 wide. Oh, I need to zoom out a little bit here. So we're going 30,000 wide so we can incorporate 1350 to 1340, or 1370 rather. We can incorporate this whole range here. Not 30,000. Actually, it was, yeah. I'm trying to remember this step because it's been a while since I did this. Now we want to go on to 1360, so we're going plus 10,000 on the offset. And then I need my spectrum. IF spectrum. It has been a while. Nope, not the IF spectrum. Asymmetric filter, yes. And we're going to roll off.
Life insurance, there is a tremendous price war in the term life industry. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-smoker can get $1 billion of coverage for $75 per month level rate for 10 years, or a man age 50 non-smoker can obtain $500,000 coverage for a month premium of $110 level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates.
I think I did that wrong.
Well.
Oh, I think it was IF offset I should have done.
Policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for a new or
like
replacement,
I said, it has been a minute.
Call Term Busters today for a quote at 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should.
There we go.
636.
Oh, it is so strong. It is a hard one to get rid of here.
Writing it.
All right. I don't know how I did this. Go look at my video. It explains everything.
Plus nights
Let's
for
go here to
millions of Americans.
1360. Video I have shows all the steps. It's just been about a year and a half since I did this. I don't remember all the settings exactly the way that I had it. Now I probably want to pull my IR spectrum back up again.
DX Central Live, top of the hour alert.
All right, we're looking for top of the hour IDs here. Anybody got any ears on this station? Take care, Master Player. Appreciate you being here, man. I wonder who this is. Maybe we'll get an ID at the top of the hour. That'd be nice. 1350 is going to be so hard. I have to use the northeast antenna to get away from the WWL signal.
Your next group should be the last group that you will ever need. You should call 813-752-7088 and find out how you can save money on a level roof. That's Discount Level Bars in Plant City, 813-752-7088.
You know Carter's has great barbecue, but did you know Carter's has soul food so good it'll make your tongue slap your brains out? Neck bones, oxtails, pork steak, meatloaf, liver and onions, even chitlins when available, and of course a wide selection of sides. Let Carter's Barbecue and Soul Food do the cooking. Carter's Barbecue and Soul Food in Mulberry. Online at cartersbarbecue.com. Each bite is a celebration of flavor and tradition. As we like to say, it's just plain good.
At Steel, service is important. I4 Power Equipment has Steel factory-trained, gold-certified technicians, and we service what we sell. For all your steel needs, stop in today. Open Monday through Saturday. I4 Power Equipment just off I4 and exit 22 in Plant City.
Okay. We got Boss Hog Radio, WHNR in Cypress Gardens, Florida. And there was also a Radio Maria in there, which is KNIR in New Iberia, Louisiana here. That's the Radio Maria that was in there. So they were IDing right around the same time. So that's why we did the two notices there, because we had both Boss Hog and KNIR Radio Maria in there at the same time. So very cool. So that's two there on 1360. 1350 right now is... It's going to be a mess with our local here on 1350 WWWL, so we'll do our best with that one. Hopefully we can use the CCC to get rid of some stuff there and hopefully get something out of it. All right. The dog is pacing around like she needs to go outside, so that means it is time for us to go ahead and do our last round of shout-outs here for our friend Keegan. Shout-out time for Keegan!
Hear the call for every single big or small, from AM to FM, from sea to sea. We celebrate the ones who slag the IT. Shout out loud, let it be known, you're never DXing all alone. Through the static we found our way. Shout outs making waves today.
We'll also do our 1 or 2 logs I think we got this week. Show those. Share those. All right. Our friend Keegan, Boot Crew North up in Arkansas, has had himself some good DX here over the last couple months. And so let's take a gander at some of those catches and see what he has gotten. So received on the Quotson DX286 using a W6 LVP loop. Oops, that went all the way down. I can't do that. So, dog, I need my hand. Okay, you can come up. That's fine. We had from October, we had 1180 KZOT in Bellevue, Nebraska. We had 910 KJJQ in Volga, South Dakota. The Ranch. 1030, October 30th, rather. 1360 KSCJ in Sioux City, Iowa. In November, starting with the 13th of November, 1550 KRZD in Springfield, Missouri, Bob FM. 1420 WOC in Davenport, Iowa. 1520 KRHW, Sikeston, Missouri, Classic Country KRHW. 970 WMAY, Petersburg, Illinois. 1090 WCRA, Effingham, Illinois. They've been loud lately. 930 KWOC, Poplar Bluff, Missouri. 1180 WGAB in Newburgh, Indiana. 800 KREI in Farmington, Missouri. 1050 KSJS Sedalia, Missouri. 1110 KVTT Mineral Wells, Texas, with KFAB nulled. KGGR on 1040 from Dallas, Texas. 1100 KDRY Alamo Heights, Texas. 1160 KRDY. One of those is different. Relevant Radio out of San Antonio. 1270 KFLC in Benbrook, Texas. Classico 1270. 640, and this is one I've been chasing them. I can't hear them. XELOV FM, Ciudad Juarez, La Lupe, Mexico. I don't know why I cannot get those guys. I do. It's a couple of stations that are 1370 KWRT in Boonville, Missouri. 930 KLUP, Terrell Hills, Texas. 930 The End. 680 KKYX, San Antonio, Mamacita. KKYX and KONO. Those are the ones that were the two stations in San Antonio when Mom and Dad were growing up that you would listen to, one or the other. And I can't remember which. I think one of them was for the Hicks and one of them was for the Greasers. I can't remember what the term was there. Anyway, 1050 XEG Monterrey Nuevo Leon, 1260 KTAE in Elgin, 900 XEW Mexico City W Radio, 900 WKDA Nashville, Tennessee, 780 WJAG in Norfolk, Nebraska, 1260 KWSH in Oklahoma, 1280 WMCP Columbia, Tennessee, 960 KROF Abbeville, Louisiana, one of our locals down here. Heard them in the daytime this week. 1380 KRCM Shenandoah, Texas, 1230 KSJB in Jamestown, North Dakota. WTAX Springfield, 1240. Nice. I think I've heard them. 1060 XCRDO Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Raza. Yeah, that one comes in every once in a while. It's not Radio Universidad. 540 XHEWA San Luis Potosi, Los 40. 1300 KGLO Mason City, Iowa. 590 XEFD Rio Bravo, Tamaulipas, La Mejor. 760 XEABC AM Mexico City, ABC. 580 XEAV in Jalisco. 1030 GSF Memphis Ambiente 1030. That one always throws me off. I hear them and I think, oh, who have I got? Who have I got in Latin America? And it's Memphis. 1310 WGH Newport News, Virginia. 1040 WHBO Pinellas Park, Florida. KQAM 1480 Wichita, Kansas. 1380 WMI St. Petersburg, Florida. KXTN San Antonio 1350. Dahano lives here. I've heard them. No, I haven't heard them. Nope, that's 1350. I have not. That might be a good one for me to shoot for this week. KYOO Bolivar, Missouri on 1200. 1050 KJB in Little Rock, Arkansas. KONO, there they are. San Antonio 860. Now I think they're Bloomberg now. They used to be oldies. Now they're Bloomberg. 1410 WING Dayton, Ohio, home of the Reds for Dayton. 1420 WIMS Michigan City, Indiana. 770 XEACH Monterrey Nuevo Leon Formula. 1330 KPTY Waterloo, Iowa, Hank FM. 1310 WDXI Jackson, Tennessee, Fox Sports Jackson rather. 1310 KGLB Glencoe, Minnesota. Would love that. 660 XEFZ in Monterrey. ABC Deportes. When XECPR is not coming in, it's Monterey. KTBB Tyler, Texas on 600. Very, very regular here when we get rid of our local WVOG. 610 XECBS in Fresnillo, Zacatecas, La Que Buena. 730 XEX Mexico City, W Deportes on 730. 920 KYST Texas City. Texas. KQUE, Rosenberg, Richmond, Texas. Radio Alleluia, 980. Like reading my logbook here. So many things that are like my locals here. 830 XEIT, Radio Locura. Get down a minute. WCCO is absent. They have been. I haven't heard them in a long time. 860 XEUN in Mexico City, Radio UNAM. I've heard them several times recently. They used to not be that common, but now they are. 1310 KOKX in Iowa. And that brings us to December here. So now we're in December. 1230 WBBZ, Ponca City, Oklahoma. 1080 WRYT in Edwardsville, Illinois. 790 WSGW in Saginaw, Michigan. Every time I hear Saginaw, think of Home Improvement. Saginaw cheese. Cheese, it's good. And finally here in December, 1550 KWBC in Navasota, Texas. Willie, 98.7. 1550. Into Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, blah, blah, blah. Remember that? Who did that skit? Or who did that skit? Trying to teach him how to sing Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano. There you go. Bunch of new stuff in here for our friend Keegan, including we're going to dole out some gumbo because he got some Louisiana in there. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about. Just added 1360 WTAQ out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Man. We got to add a little slice of day cheese. Some stations from Mexico, so some new Latin American logs. There you go, man. That's an absolute haul, my friend. You have been a busy, busy man on the dials, and I love to see it. Love to see it. I know how therapeutic and healing that can be. So keep at it, man. You'll find it helps a lot. All right, so that's all the channel shout outs we have for today. We'll do a real quick one here from our own logbook that we got this week. Wasn't much. We didn't have a lot of time for DX, but what we did was fun. See, our last stream, this is the 26th, was the 19th, so we're looking, okay, we have a couple here. Can't remember if that might have come in. No, we didn't talk about it last week. 1010, while we had WJXL in Jacksonville was doing their thing with running the network feed unfiltered. Heard WJBR in Seffner, Florida, underneath that. During a little bit of their tone stuff, I could hear an ID from WJBR. Florida Alumni Radio is their call sign. So that was a new station from Florida. Mentioned this one earlier, 770 XEML out of Michoacan for a new Mexican state for us. So we'll play that here in a second. This was the big one when we got the new AirSpy connected to the southern antenna, southern CAS, 820 Radio Moderna out of Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Had a very nice trace from that at one point. That's on 820. They have a, let me see, where do I have the offset? The offset was, oh, I'll have to go look it up. I thought I had it in here. I guess not. I'll go look up that air offset right there. It was very distinct. 819.854. So our Latin American enthusiasts, 819.854 off of 820. Go look for that offset. That is Radio Moderna in Honduras. 1 kilowatt, but they were coming in quite nicely. So Again, that was on the Southern Cas with the new air spy connected to it. Then a couple more here. We had 1460 WELZ in Bolzoni, Mississippi. This was came in the other night with call letter ID, several call letter IDs. In fact, I got a nice air check to go with them in here. They put up to the YouTube channel. And then 870, we had WWL was open carrier for the majority of the night the other night. And while that was happening, we heard a lot of Ecuador Radio Cristal. I did hear also HJAY 870 out of Barranquilla, Colombia, with WWL in open carrier, weak but able to match to their live stream. And as far as Colombians go, I can now tell you that was Colombian number 34. 34 Colombians, with our furthest distance 2,159 miles from Colombia to here, but 34 Colombians, including that one from Barranquilla. Oh, I will the Mexican state. That's a big deal because we're down to like 6 left. Surprised because it was one that I was looking for, and then because I realized what I was missing, I was like, okay, I'm missing these Mexican states. Michoacan was one of them, so I looked up in the Mexican log, the IRCA Mexican log. I looked up Michoacan stations. I was like, okay, there's one I can go try for on 770. Let me see if I can hear them. Sure enough, there they were. Heard that La Ranchera ID. And then they did a long adult choir version of the national anthem, and then gone. And that was right at the time that the IRCA Mexican log says they should have been gone, which was at midnight. They disappeared right at midnight Central Time. So there's another one. If you don't have Michoacan in your logbook yet, go listen for XEML on 770 and see if you can get them. You can match them up to their stream, like I did. And they did, like I said, the La Ranchera IDs. And I was using my co-channel canceller to get rid of some other stuff. And there they were. All right. I think that's going to do it, man. That's going to do it. So, a couple of reminders. Don't forget the DX test this week. December 30th, 31st, we'll be putting out the press release here soon with all the details for WNAM up in Wisconsin on 1280. You're going to want to make sure you participate in that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be putting up our stream and letting that run both nights just to kind of see what we get. Don't forget New Year's Eve. While you're in the DXing mood, New Year's Eve, at the very minimum, do yourself a favor. Point your antennas to the south, set up some recordings, and just let them run from about, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock Eastern time till 1 or 2 o'clock Eastern time. At the very minimum, do top of the hour, but I would probably just let it run because you're going to hear some stuff. You're going to hear some stuff. And hopefully you'll hear some of these Colombians. They have this. I'm going to get hit with the copyright strike for the hit on this one. I know I'm going to get hit with it, but that's okay. This is the song you're listening for Colombia.
Saint Jude.
No, not that. That's an ad. You're listening for this song from Los Caracas Boys. You'll hear it on like a bunch, not every Colombian station does it, but a bunch of them do. And when you hear it, man, it sticks out so well. I think I actually have an example of it here. You can hear in the static. Hold on one second. New Year's. I know Willow. Colombia. I think this Caracol Radio might have been one that did it. Let's see. Here's the countdown. Decatur Cold Radio. I want to say RCN also did it. Yep, they did. Here's their countdown. Hear it? Hear the air raid sirens? There's Cuba on 770, Radio Artemisa doing their national anthem. I mean, I'm telling you, it is an absolute fantastic. Whoa! It's an absolute fantastic time to do DX. New Year's Eve, point your antennas to the south, listen for Latin America. You won't regret it. As long as the conditions play well, you're going to get some stuff you've never heard before, probably. So, for all of our patrons, thank you. Looking forward to what we have coming in the new year for you guys. Patreon.com/DXCentral if you want to be part of the fun in Studio C. To all of our sponsors, International Radio Club of America, National Radio Club, the Spectrum Monitor magazine, which, by the way, the new January edition of the Spectrum Monitor is out. Got a column in there from yours truly talking about targeting stations and coming up with doing the research to target those stations. We've got a podcast episode that'll be coming out here very, very soon talking about that to go along with the article. For those sponsors, from all of us here at DX Central, my friends, Happy New Year to you in advance. Best of DX to you. This has been such an amazing year together. We've come a long way in this year. Some of the stuff we've done together, the knowledge that we've gained from sharing knowledge with each other. And I just can't wait to see what 2026 has in store for us for the DX season and for all the stuff that we have coming up. Gotta take this dog out before she wets herself. You guys have a great rest of your night. We'll see you next year right here on DX Central Live, DXCentralLive.com and YouTube.com/@DXCentral. Take care, my friends. 73 and best of DX.
Takes the stage.
This is DX Central Live. This is DX Central Live. This is DX Central Live.